Good afternoon and welcome to Hahn Australia Cup qualifying final day here in the nation's capital. A place on the national stage in the round of 32 is up for grabs. Will it be Canberra Croatia? Will it be Queanbeyan City? My name's Russ Gibbs and joining me, stood right here next to me, is a man who played in the cup finals back in the days when it was in black and white TV. And even before then, when they were doing it by transistor radio. Steve Forshaw. Steve, sun is shining on the righteous, as they say. Welcome. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm looking forward to the afternoon's football feast. Two teams that are in decent form following wins last weekend, and of course both obviously successful in the semi-finals. One on a penalty shootout and one quite comfortably against a reasonable Tuggeranong United side.
There's good buzz around the atmosphere and around the ground here, isn't there, at the moment? All to my right at the moment, this is where the Canberra Croatia fans will all be sat over there. There'll be a fair few of them as well. A lot of them have been here before and done this. They've got trophies under their belt. They know what it's all about. To our left, Queanbeyan City. Well, they've not done this for 59 years. Yeah. It's been a long time between drinks for them in cup finals, and this is a huge occasion for them. They'll be out in their numbers. They'll be out in force as well today. It's a great occasion for both teams, but specifically for Queanbeyan City as well. I just spoke to Goran Jozefovski in the changing room to ask him how the nerves and anticipation were. He said they're bang up for it.
So they should be. I mean, what have they got to lose? Nobody expects Queanbeyan City... Well, excuse me, expects Queanbeyan City to trouble Canberra Croatia today, but that's not how cup finals work. They've come here, they've earned their spot, they've got nothing to lose, and as long as they're courageous on the ball, get themselves set up properly.
We're going to turn you around so the sun doesn't get you too much. There you go. Yeah, he's blocking it off for you.
It's in me, I can't see a thing. So I think Queanbeyan City will put up a really, really good show today. If nothing else, because it's the first game of this nature, of this status, for 60 years nigh on.
How do they stop this Canberra Croatia outfit, though? We've watched them together quite a lot this season. Last week, the performance against O'Connor Knights, they were 1-0 down. I was watching it with Frank Keisha. Quarter of an hour in, they were thinking, well, I asked him the question, is this a blueprint for Queanbeyan City? Then, of course, what followed that was something quite remarkable. 9-1 it finished last week. They've been scoring goals by the dozen. Everybody has been in great form. How do Queanbeyan stop this?
Well, obviously, they are the form team in the competition. I mean, I think on 7 or 8 occasions now they've scored 4 or 5 goals or more. So the front three of Canberra Croatia have to be stopped, have to be contained. When they are contained, as you saw with the game against Tigers, when Tigers beat them 2-1, you're a bit of a chance. I suspect that one of two things will happen. Queanbeyan City will come out, all guns blazing, try and press them high up the park and see if they can't force some errors on the back four. Or they'll go the other way and they'll do something similar to what Australia did against Japan on Thursday night, where they'll sit deep and look to counter.
I asked another question. How do they stop Thomas James? Is there a plan for Thomas James? 9 goals, 12 assists in the league already this season. The numbers are mind-boggling. He's playing some incredible form. Now, of course, they say there is a plan. I didn't ask for the specifics because we'll find out now. Yeah. I don't want to surprise it. It's like Christmas Day, isn't it? Yeah. When you don't know what's under the tree. But in your opinion, how do you stop Thomas James?
You've got to stop the supply to him in the first. I mean, he's going to roam, he's going to float across that front three, and he's playing a very, very free role this season, and teams have not been able to deal with his movement. Stop the supply into him is one way of doing it, but even with doing that, you're going to have to be very tightly marking him, and I suspect he might be on the end of 1 or 2 free kicks.
There may be 1 or 2 coming his way. At the other end, chances might be at a premium. Therefore, you need an experienced goal-getter to take those opportunities. Nico Abba is one of those players. Absolutely. He's been scoring goals for fun throughout his career. I watched him against the other week. We were at a game. I was at a game, and he had chances to score, and his touch was a bit off. But he is a big, big player for them today, and he needs to be on fire.
Absolutely. I mean, I think he's going to operate largely in the penalty area. They're going to have to find him in and around the penalty box where he can do his best work. He's a proven goal scorer. Once you've got a proven goal scorer, you've got a threat. That threat has to be realised today if they're going to get anything out of the game. But he's shown time and time again that he's a big game player, so he'll come good when he needs to. If they give him the right service, they're a bit of a show.
The word coming out of the Queanbeyan City changing room was that the 2 training sessions they did this week were 2 of the worst they've done all season. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though, is it?
No. I mean, they would have had their minds on today. The cup final would have been all-consuming in terms of their thinking going through the week. And if you've had a couple of bad sessions, they're out the way. You've got them out the way, so you can come out here and just play your natural game. So if they've had a couple of bad sessions, they're due a good game.
On the other side, McKellar out of the game for 18 months, back leading a team in the final. He's not the skipper, I don't believe, today. Ryan Keir will be wearing the captain's armband, but what a player to have in your squad. Like
signing a new player for him, really was his return to the fold at Deakin Stadium. And if there was any doubts that he would be able to recapture the form he had prior to his absence, he's dispelled those particular rumours and he's come back bigger and better than ever. And he's playing extremely well. He'll need to be on his toes today, though, because Queanbeyan, I think, will try and put a bit of pressure on him. From our ivory tower, we can see down onto the players in the tunnel right behind us here. There'll be some nerves out there. It doesn't matter how many finals you played in. I spoke to Dina Greenwich before, and he said he's a bit nervous. It doesn't matter how many finals you've been in charge of, how many you've played in. This is a special day. Yeah, of course it is, but nerves aren't a bad thing. Nerves actually get you up and get you ready to go. And if you normalise the nervousness throughout the group, then you can use it to your best advantage. And I don't think either team, once that whistle blows, will be suffering too much from any nervous energy. Well, we're going to go and sit down on our chairs as Michael pulls away and lets you know. Over there on the far side, you'll be able to see a banner, Michael, that says round of 32 qualifier. That is what they're looking for today, Steve, the round of 32. To get themselves into that, you can shift that back if you want, mate, so you can see what's going on. Let's go through the 2 teams, starting with Queanbeyan City as they join us for the final. Nick Middleton will start in goal. Jack Leverett, Christian Tokic, Nawal Guerrero and Gabriel Ayul are the back 4. Marko Savkovic will patrol in front of them, then a line of 4 in front of him. Thomas Blazewski, Takuya Miyabayashi, Daniel Roberts and Noah van der Poel. Nico Abbott will lead the line. On the bench, Seth Bonnet, Charlie Ray, Michael Galich, Samuel Abba, Mishko Namoski and Finn Beasley. Steve, it's what we expected. Yeah, it is. I think it's unchanged from last week, near enough, where they had a really good win in Ugali, a 1-0 late goal winner. This is a team that's largely got them up with a few additions from last year. And it's the team that I think everybody would have expected that they'd put on the park today. Canberra, Croatia, very similar. Sam Brown in goal. Tony Spaseski, Daniel Subasic, Matt Gudabisha and Riley Souza the back 4. Ryan Keir, Daniel Kolbatado and Keegan Vucicic in the midfield. Up top, Max Green, 7 goals this season in the league. Thomas James, 7 in the league. Nick Pradagina, 8 in the league. Between them, 6 cup goals as well. Goals aplenty. On the bench, Marko Jadric, David Saselja, Daniel Spello, Vica Majatic, Jack Parach-Cullen and Jason Matejka. It's a pretty strong outfit. It's the form team of the competition, as we've already alluded to. They're very strong in every line. All their game is built on quality. They've defended with some resolution. Their transition is electric. And the front 3 can't stop scoring. So, no doubt, Queanbeyan have got their work cut out today. Gareth Biggs, the man in the middle, his first cup final appointment. Big day for him as well. Adam Powers and Joshua Iser his assistants. Harrison Cracknell is the 4th official. When the magic of the cup is in the air, the underdogs from across the border, Queanbeyan City, making the journey north in their numbers. Voices loud and passionate and desperate to claim a major piece of silverware. For 59 years they've striven for glory. Players have come and gone, and the generation of 2025 have the chance to write their names into the annals of history. Standing in the way, Canberra, Croatia, a perennial hunter-gatherer of trophies, a juggernaut that has wiped the floor with nearly every adversary that's tried to derail the red machine. David versus Goliath on a scale of which none would have predicted. The magic of the cup indeed. The question is, do you believe? Queanbeyan City will hope they do. Canberra, Croatia will no doubt do. We are all set for what should be a corker of a cup final. The majority will predict those in the white today will come out on top, Steve. But the glory of this competition is that anything can happen. Yeah, I think you mentioned it during the week. The ball's round. It's the same for everybody. Pitch is in immaculate condition. So no excuses for not being able to play a decent brand of football. The experience that Canberra Croatia can bring to occasions like this is obviously going to be advantageous. The youthful enthusiasm, the inexperience, if you like, even the naivety of Queanbeyan City might just be enough for them to make this a competitive match.
Not since the heady days of 1969 of Queanbeyan City graced the cup final, when known as Queanbeyan Macedonia. They defeated Juventus 3-1 in extra time to claim the silverware. This is Canberra Croatia's fourth Hahn Australia Cup qualifying final. They've won 2 and lost 2. They've won 19 cup finals, the first dating back to 1962. Since 2002, they've won this cup 10 times. The weight of history is in their favour. But since when has that bothered anybody when it comes to a football match?
Yeah, it's not about the history that's gone. It's about the history you're about to make. And this is a real opportunity for these boys in red to put their name down as real heroes for the Macedonian community and Queanbeyan City in particular.
And the sun has come out.
Just in time.
For the final. First touch from Matt Gerbischer. Riley Souza has got himself a brace of cup goals already this season. Jack Leverett's formerly of Tuggeranong United. When he signed for Queanbeyan City this summer in the off-season, I doubt he thought a cup final was in his near future.
No.
Promoted last season, cup final half a dozen months later.
It's been a great 12 months for him, hasn't it?
Leverett, Blazewski, the teenage tyro, scored the equaliser against the Tigers.
Well, that was another game very similar to this, where they were savage underdogs and got through. So there is a precedent.
There is some bite in the underdogs.
There is indeed. There is indeed.
We will see whether or not it's enough to cause a problem for this team in their away kit today. The red machine is now the white machine for one day only.
And it looks to me like they may just be setting up a little bit deeper so that they can counter.
Thomas James.
But it's early days yet.
Daniel Colbertaldo looking for Max Green, who's had an epic cup run himself. 4 goals in his competition so far. Here is Green. Looking to dink it through in a first touch for Nick Middleton. And that gives me a chance to give a shout out to his mum, Helen Middleton, who's watching today. Very proud of her son and watching his progress in that cup semi-final, of course, when he made that outstanding save to tip that penalty over the bar from Nathan Magic. So shout out to you, Helen, and I hope you're enjoying the coverage so far.
If she's at home, I hope you're nice and warm.
Actually warmer than we are. Tokic, ball picked off by Nick Pratagina. The run forward by Max Green. Gabriel Ayul to tidy up, and here's Noah van der Poel.
Formerly of Canberra Croatia, of course. Noah?
Goes past the challenge of Colbertaldo. Spaseski's back there. Lovely touch from Thomas James as well. And here goes Max Green. Noel Guerrero comes across, scored the goal in the quarter-final win, the second goal for Queanbeyan City against Brindabella Blues. Clubs have met once in the Cup before. It was a round 3 match in 2021. Canberra Croatia ran out victors by 3-1. They have been in incredible form.
They have, but they're up against, in red here, 2 banks of 4, 2 very, very compact banks of 4. Queanbeyan have setting up to be hard to break down, certainly in the early stages.
11 games this season, Steve. Croatia have scored 51 times and conceded just 5.
They're in trouble, aren't they? Conceding 5.
Thomas James, who we mentioned, has been racking up the goal involvements. Guerrero steps in and away and can advance. Only Nico Abbott ahead of him, and Blazewski now confident to bring the ball out of defence, the Argentine. We thank our sponsors, of course. You'll see them coming across your screen all the time during the Cup final, like they've been there all season. A couple of pages on them in the match programme today as well. Spaseski's throw. James. Vucetic. amongst that conversation, just inside the changing room there for Queanbeyan City, Steve, Goran Jozefovski told me straight out that they will be playing the game in increments, in 10-minute spells, to try and get through these early stages. And it's not a bad plan, is it?
It's a good plan. It's a good plan. I mean, they go into it as underdogs. They've got a realistic assessment of their chances. And I think if you can get through bits of games by bits of games by bits of games, frustrate Canberra Croatia, slow the game down as much as you need to if that's going to help you. But it keeps them in the game for long periods of time, and then anything can happen after that.
And no press here at all.
No.
Happy to let Sam Brown have it as the wind picks up. Matt Gerbischer. And they'll sit behind the ball, and they'll be happy to. Keegan Vucetic.
I don't think they'll be too disturbed about Canberra Croatia having lots of possession in their own half or just after halfway line. But it's going to be, when they can win it, can they get forward in numbers?
James, blocked by Guerrero, and here comes Van der Poel. And he want to take on Spaseski for pace. Tony Spaseski is rapid himself, but Noah Van der Poel is away from him here and delivering for Nico Abbots. And Queanbeyan City get themselves a corner.
Great break. Van der Poel outpacing Spasevski, who's having a little bit of trouble with his shorts. Bit cheeky. But yeah, great run. Great run. Not a bad ball in, and to get the first corner of the game.
Which Nico Abbott will take.
And this is an opportunity, isn't it, for Queanbeyan City to get the big guys forward and then try and take advantage of Abbott's delivery, which is usually spot on.
Christian Tokic, head swathed in a bandage. Gabriel Ayul in there as well. Abbott into the middle. Guerrero was the target. Might come for Ayul. And that's unlucky. The header was blocked, and we go the other side. He was caught there, Ayul, as well, I think.
He's up on his feet. He's okay, but it looked a heavy challenge. Yeah, great corner in. And great defending, you've got to say, because Ayul's header looked to be on target.
Nico Abbots from the other side. Again, the usual suspects in and around the box. Van der Poel's gone short if he wants to go there. Clips it over him for Tokic, who wins the header. And it lands on top of the crossbar. Or the back of the net, rather, I should say.
Well, there's two signs that there is a way forward for Queanbeyan City. They won both headers.
We can see it on our screen here because it runs a little bit behind Steve, and you'll be able to see how he gets away. Meanwhile, Max Green is going to take on Ayul here. It's been in rare form, Max Green. I'll talk about that in just a second. Here's Thomas James to whip it across the middle, and it might come for Green, and that's a decent stop.
That would have been an own
goal. Yeah, it came off of Daniel Roberts, didn't it? Yeah. Defending. Middleton stuck his hand out. Max Green has 4 cup goals this season in just 3 matches. He scored 10 goals in his last 7 games, including 2 hat-tricks in 3 matches.
He's certainly the guy that I would be most frightened of if I was playing for Queanbeyan City because of his form. I mean, the front three we talked about ad nauseum. They're very, very good, but Max Green's been the pick of them, I think, for the last few weeks. He's
settled in quite well, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. I mean, he was a great pickup at the start of the season because he looked like he would have been spending time at Gungahlin, but he's made the move to Canberra, Croatia, and he's made it look like the perfect move.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself, no doubt. 11 goals already this season in all competitions.
But it's not just his goals. His general play has been very good as well. We see things like the little dink he tried to get for Colbertal. It didn't work, but he's got great imagination. In that final third, his movement's good. He does things that are unexpected, and that's what makes him such a difficult opponent.
Nick Middleton sending it forward towards Blazevski. I mean, it probably goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, Steve, but Nick Middleton's going to have a good game today, isn't he?
Oh, he's going to be a busy lad. He's shown over the last couple of seasons that he's a competent goalkeeper, but yes, he's going to need to be on the top of his game today. They've made a good start for us.
They've started well, haven't they? 9 minutes in. Kept Canberra Croatia at arm's length so far. Thomas James looking for the run of Green in behind Ayul.
Wasn't a bad idea, just didn't execute. But again, we're seeing Thomas James just taking up that sort of role where he's very hard to pick up.
Spaseski in with a tackle. Savkovic to clip it forward. Marko Savkovic wearing the skipper's armband. The two number 6s captaining the sides today. Ryan Keir for Canberra, Croatia.
I think it's really important that Ryan Keir gets his passing game going as well.
Gerbicher sweeping it out there, looking for Pradeshina. Might have lost it in the sunshine.
He could have. The wind would have helped it pick up pace.
Not something I thought I'd be saying this morning when it was a bit drizzly and overcast.
Oh, we've had plenty of rain today.
Colbertaldo brought down by Roberts. Shout out to Daniel Roberts and for his hospitality yesterday morning for myself at the Red Baron Cafe in Simonston. Looked after us for breakfast.
Very nice.
Great food and coffee out there as well, much like Daniel Colbertaldo at Casa does as well. Casa by Avance, two local cafes to go and frequent.
Do they have a Rick Toffen coffee?
A Richthofen?
Yeah.
What's one of those things?
He was the Red Baron.
Oh, but probably Baron von Richthofen. Yeah, maybe they should. They're missing a trick there, aren't they?
I should be in advertising.
You should. Miyabayashi, no foul on James.
Good turn.
Takuya Miyabayashi looking for Abbott to go wide. Yeah. Gerbicher in too quickly. Tokic steps across James.
Game's yet to settle into any sort of pattern at the moment, but Queanbeyan will be delighted with this first 10 or 11 minutes. They've given nothing away. They've actually had a couple of sort of half chances, if you like, from corners. So I think Goran Josefovski will be absolutely made up that they've started the game so well.
Van der Poel, that's a nice little touch towards Roberts. Colbertaldo's won it. Miyabayashi out here towards Van der Poel again. Roberts. Van der Poel.
Bit unlucky.
They haven't quite found their groove yet, Canberra, Croatia, have they? They've been waxing lyrical before kickoff about the way they've been playing this season. And yet it's, I wouldn't say pedestrian, but it's definitely a little bit more...
Well, it's not as fluent.
Yeah, not a bit slacker than they usually are.
Yeah.
And that's a huge credit to Queanbeyan City. Guerrero goes long, looking for Ayul, who's broke forward here. Daniel Supasic forced to deal with it. And that's the left fullback making the run furthest forward.
Yeah, they've had a lot of joy down their left. Spazewski's been found wanting once or twice with Van der Poel making those positive runs forward, and then we see Ayul getting in behind as well, very nearly getting on the end of it.
A third Queanbeyan City corner.
This is a bit dangerous, leaving Thomas there. No, they've sorted that out. They're not going to leave Thomas James one-on-one at the back.
Abbott again. Into the near post. Ayul got a flick on it. Stabbed away by Green.
Early days again, but these corners are causing some problems. If they can get one right, they're a bit of a show.
The swirling wind as well is probably exacerbating the situation. Gabriel Ayul's got a relatively long throw on him. It's not Cole Falco-esque from Tuggeranong, but it is long. Then again, not much is. And Ayul into the wind. You can see how it held up. Back by Miyabayashi, and easy for Sam Brown, who've been struggling with a hip injury lately, Sam Brown, which is why his kicking in that game against Tuggeranong was quite poor. Distribution that day. Savkovic tidies up.
Yeah, lovely move again, though. Thomas James just letting that ball run for Green.
Roberts channeling Ibrahimovic there, isn't he, with that ball? Blazewski in behind Gerbicher.
Good defending.
That
was good football all around.
The experience of a player who's played 265 National Premier League games up against someone in Thomas Blazewski who's played 9.
Nonetheless, Queanbeyan are looking to penetrate on the counter-attack, and they've very nearly, on 2 occasions at least, made that work.
Croatia have reached the final by scoring 14 goals and conceding none. Of those goals, 7 have been scored in each half. Queanbeyan, meanwhile, have scored 7 goals, conceded 4. 2 in the first half, 5 in the second in terms of goals scored. Blazewski looking to take on Riley Sousa.
He's had a good start to the season. Riley Sousa has made that left-back position his own.
In 11 Australia Cup qualifying finals, Steve, the team that has scored first has gone on to win on 8 occasions. Only Tigers 2016, Gunners 2018 and Wanderers 2022 have scored first and lost. It is an advantage to get your noses in front on the big day.
Yeah, and I think if Queanbeyan can do that, they've got something to hang on to. That will make it twice as difficult for Canberra Croatia.
Tokic was the target. Ryan Keir was on his back. Max Green tries to break. Savkovic wins it back for those in red. Van der Poel to loft one towards Nawal Guerrero, had stayed forward. And he can't quite keep it in play. You can see by the wind on the trees in the background, it's a tricky, swirling pitch.
It's sort of going left to right as we look at it, but it's very, very strong.
Leverett. Tokic. Queanbeyan City seem to have settled the better here. Blazewski to turn.
Very, very similar to last week's game against O'Connor Knights, where O'Connor Knights' first 25 minutes were more than a match for Canberra Croatia. In fact, went 1-0 up.
And then got hit on a sucker punch, much like this. Thomas James, was he caught by Roberts? Canberra Croatia bench are up in arms here, because Thomas James was caught late. Matt Gerbish is asking the question as well.
They've got the free kick.
I think they're asking for a little bit more in terms of a sanction. We'll be able to see it in a moment.
It was late. There's no doubt about it. And we sort of mentioned at the start of the show that Thomas James might be on at the end of one or two of those.
It's not even a free kick. It's a throw-in for Tony Spaseski. And I think that might be the question that they're asking. Like, we can see the replay here, Steve. He's been caught from behind by Roberts.
It was a free kick. It should have been a free kick.
Might have got away with one there, Queanbeyan City.
Well, it's,
but as you say, Thomas James is going to expect that. He is going to cop a couple of kicks today, I would have thought.
Yeah. I don't know that Queanbeyan can actually employ a tactic where they constantly foul him. But if they do, then it will make for a very interesting afternoon for Mr. James.
And for Mr. Biggs in the middle. Have to be on his toes. That's going to roll out of play.
They call him Ronnie, don't they?
16 minutes gone. Isn't he in Brazil?
Oh, he was. I don't think he's even alive, is he?
Well, who knows? If Elvis is still alive.
Well, he is, and living in Bungendore, apparently.
Is he?
Yeah.
With Ronnie?
Yeah, in a pie shop.
Subasic looking for Green. Over the head of Ayul. Knows this pitch fairly well, Max Green. Played a bit of football here.
Yeah, played for Belconnen for a season or two.
Roberts wins it, then loses it to Cole Bataldo, who's brought down by Nico Abbots. Goran Jozefovski's turn to become a little bit angry with the decision. I think the giveaway there was Nico Abbott just walking away from it, saying sorry.
There's excitement on the benches.
Well, they're living it as well, Stephen. Why not? It is Cup Final Saturday, is it not?
It is indeed. How often do these come around? Well, for Canberra Croatia, it's about once a year, but for Queanbeyan, once every 60. Well, you might as well enjoy the occasion, but not play the occasion. Play the football.
Buckhorn United won the Women's Federation Cup for the 3rd year in a row. Prior to this, a 1-0 win. Annika Corrie with the goal.
Good goal, too.
Ellie Summers in goal for Canberra Croatia was in great form, saved a penalty from Alyssa de Campley, but in the end, Corrie's goal was enough. Buckhorn dominated the game and deserved to win that one. Here's Cole Bataldo looking to slide it through at full stretch. The Argentine defender, Guerrero. And then gets himself a free kick.
Good defending, really good play from Aguero. He looks like he's here for the... He's turned up for the occasion.
Did you just call him Aguero, as in Kun Aguero?
What did I call him?
Aguero, instead of Guerrero.
Aguero.
Aguero, Sergio Aguero. I mean, they'd love to sign him, wouldn't they?
They wouldn't play him at centre half, though, would they?
What do you know? It's Goran Jozefovski. Who knows? Ayul finds Roberts. Ayul again. Fouled by Gerbish, and a free kick goes the way of Queanbeyan City. And it's getting a bit niggly, and I think Queanbeyan City will quite enjoy this.
They won't mind that at all.
Frustrating,
yeah.
Canberra Croatia.
And it's a legitimate tactic. Take it nice and easy. Slow the game down.
Nico Abbott's the set-piece specialist. Daniel Cole Bataldo just telling him where it's going to be taken from.
I don't think they'll mind that either.
The more they can ruffle the feathers and get under the skin of those in white, the better chance they have. Nico Abbots for Queanbeyan.
Roberts is free.
Lofted in, should be Brown's ball. Too close to the goalkeeper. He wants to get Thomas James off and running. He can't keep it in play.
No, it wasn't a bad idea, though. Good quick distribution, got to the edge of his box quickly and then tried to hit James.
The last 4 cup finals, Steve, have featured 24 goals. Each team has scored at least once. 7 of the 8 finalists have netted multiple goals in that time.
Well, it's actually the last 5, including this one. There's still 24 goals.
Well, there is, yeah. I mean, just setting the scene that we should get some goals today.
Oh, well, there's got to be a winner, isn't there? There's got to be a winner.
Hasn't been many goalless draws in the cup final. The only one I can remember in recent times was the Tigers Croatia game played at very foggy Deakin Stadium that ended 0-0, went to a penalty shootout.
I can't remember that.
It wasn't the most memorable of finals, but it was if you were Tigers and they won on penalties. Jacob Cole making the crucial save. You couldn't see anything, that's why, because the game was postponed for about half an hour.
Oh, yeah,
because
no,
the
I
fog
remember.
came through.
Yeah.
Nobody could see anything. But yeah, most of the time, both finalists score, and most of the time, both finalists score more than once.
Yeah. You would expect, unlike a semi-final where you don't want to go out and you might be a little bit nervous and a bit cagey, a final it's today or nothing. You've got to get a win. So both teams can go. And to be honest, I think Queanbeyan have started the better.
Don't think many neutral fans would disagree. Gerbischer finds Subasic. The relative strengths of the 2 benches might come into play, of course, later on.
It will indeed.
Spaseski. And he's giving it away to Roberts. And Colbertaldo's fouled him. And the team to our crowd to our right are having a right old whinge for a card. Nico Abbott's asking the question as well.
Daniel Roberts cheekily getting in there as well when he just avoided one a few minutes ago.
Well, I think that's exactly the point, that Gareth Biggs has been consistent there, hasn't he?
Absolutely he has. And both decisions 100% correct.
I get the feeling, though, that we might be one more tackle away from a yellow card, no matter who it might be. Marko Savkovic with the free kick for Queanbeyan. I'm sure the eyes of the Macedonian community around Australia are on this one. The Croatian community as well, up towards Tokic. Comes up for Miyabayashi. Blazevski. Tries to go around the long way for Riley Souza. Pratagina back there helping out.
That wind seems to have been fluctuating between left to right and directly across the pitch.
You know what? I do wish it would go away.
Come again next washing day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got a bite to it, hasn't it? They were talking about there could be some snow this weekend. And you feel that wind and that temperature that's coming off it, you wouldn't bet against it, would you?
No. The wind chill factor must have it well below 0.
It definitely feels that way. Miyabayashi, nice football that by Queanbeyan. Jack Leverett was trying to get involved up from fullback. Tokic is there with James, who just rides the challenge. Can't find Green. Ayul looking for Van der Poel. He's got half a yard here to deliver towards the far post.
Just behind his strikers. Wasn't a lot of numbers in the box, but it's the ball itself was behind those that were.
He's getting a bit of joy down here against Tony Spaseski.
Absolutely,
Noah Van der Poel.
Not the first time today we've seen him get in behind and whip something into the penalty area.
And like you say, it was just behind Nico Abbott and Thomas Blazevski, who were running in. I think Goran Jozefovski, halfway through the first half here, 23 minutes in, will be very pleased indeed. Not only have they seen off half the half, but they've done so with Nick Middleton having to make, one save? And that was off of a Daniel Roberts slide-in intercept.
Yes.
And the more they can keep it at this level and play the way they're playing, the noisier these fans to our right are going to be. And the more it might play into their hands. Van der Poel, Roberts, bounces off Vucetic. And has it back again, but leaves one in on Spaseski.
That's it.
And there's the card I told you about. It was always going to come.
And Daniel Roberts, for the second time, has been involved in a tackle that was a little agricultural, and this time, sanction applied. Oh, bit of fisticuffs.
The challenge merited a card on its own. The fact that there have been 3 or 4 that had been let go before that, Steve,
made it inevitable.
It does make it inevitable. We can see it here. He's lunged for the ball and he's just caught Spaseski.
Yeah. It was actually neat football in the lead up to that. It was just that last lunge when the touch went out of his range that resulted in the free kick and the card.
Nico Abbott's been particularly chirpy today. Here's Max Green. Great first touch, not bad second either. James bundled over by Savkovic. Now this is within range for Thomas James, especially on a swirly, windy day. He has got this in his locker. This would be the perfect range, I think, for Thomas James.
He'll be happy to be standing behind this one, but becoming very apparent what the tactics are when it comes to marshalling Thomas James. There is no room for him at all, and they're quite prepared to get a little bit physical.
Well, they might be prepared to have to defend. Nick Middleton lining the wall. James has gone early, and it wasn't far away. Middleton was scrambling across his goal. James tried to nick it in that near post.
I'm not sure he was getting there either. I mean, it's a great attempt. Obviously not on target, doesn't go in, but I'm not sure Middleton would have got to that had it been on target.
It was past him, I think, before he dived.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But it was sneaky, wasn't it, while the wall was being lined up. Thomas James had a quick glance and went, well, you know what? I'll have a pop from there. Tokic clears. Abbott. Roberts.
It's a bit unlucky.
Spaseski wins it. Ayul bursting through. Spaseski's won it back. Roberts. It's been sharp today, Daniel Roberts. Blazewski. Van der Poel. Blazewski again. Could not be more different from when they met at Deakin Stadium when it was 5-0.
5-0 nearly at half-time, wasn't it?
And they were missing Christian Tokic that day and a couple of other players. So, you know, having those players back makes a big difference for them.
It does, and they've improved as the season gone on. They've got more and more familiar with playing with each other, playing at this level. They've got better and better. There is no doubt this is a very, very even contest thus far.
Thomas James finds Spaseski. Cole Bataldo on Subasic back to Brown. They are pressing in good areas here, Queanbeyan City. They are well drilled by Goran Jozefovski and his coaching staff.
Yeah, they started off sitting off, letting them have it in their own half, and then they've changed it up and they're now pressing a little bit higher up the pitch, and they're getting some joy.
And you were right. I think there's moments where the dark arts have come into it in stopping Thomas James getting the supply line going forward, but that's football, right?
Well, it's probably not what the purists want to see, but sometimes you just got to accept that physicality of the game is there to stay.
Blazewski, Miyabayashi. Leverett's back for Tokic. Ball forward easily picked off by Ryan Keir. Can he pick something out? They've looked down this channel a couple of times, firstly for Max Green and then for Thomas James. Here is James. Drifting past a couple. Roberts won it back. Sousa's touch. Vucetic for Keir. Angle ball over the top. James to run in, but Middleton read the situation.
Soaking up a lot of pressure, doing it comfortably. Catching people going the other way, doing very well. Really good start.
A real David versus Goliath contest. 12 points separate these teams in the league. 8 games in. Blazewski looking for Nico Abbott, who's peeled away and had a half chance there. And for a player of his quality, that's an opportunity.
Yeah,
Nico Abbott.
just a bit too high for that. Subasic and Gervisher are not happy with the way he's ruffling their feathers. He's been a little bit naughty off the ball. Danny Gervisher took exception to it, and then when winning that, I think he sort of got under the skin of Subasic as well.
Normally has his hair up in a little samurai bun.
He does, yeah.
Nico Abbott. He's gone all four on us today, hasn't he? Just flowing locks. Cup final haircut, perhaps. Gabriel, who started off really well, both in defence and attack. Max Green, you could see there, he's really keen to get on with it, Green. Pranajina, movement not quite where it was.
That's not what they need.
Thomas James loves these positions. Quick feet, can't get away from Miyabayashi. Abbott.
Just read that.
Manny Gerbish has seen that hundreds of times before.
Might have done better after he'd won the ball, but well read in the first instance.
Leverett, Savkovic, sweeping ball for Blazewski, who's broken the offside trap here. Thomas Blazewski, 2 to hit in the middle. It's going to come for Van der Poel. Real chance, couldn't tee it up for Abbott, and the opportunity goes begging.
Best chance of the game. Really still wondering why Van der Poel hasn't hit that first time.
Roberts, Ayul.
How square with the Canberra Croatia defence. This is a defence only conceded 5 goals all year, and they were caught flat-footed then.
Van der Poel tried to tee up Abbott. Might have been better having a pop himself.
I think that it was on first time as well. When that ball came across, found him in space, he might have just taken a chance.
It's Queanbeyan City knocking on the door.
What a great start for the Reds. Great start.
Half an hour in, Nico Abbott with the corner kick.
This is where Canberra Croatia is dangerous. Round about this 15 minutes just before half-time.
Flat delivery towards Tokic. Smashed away by Max Green. Canberra Croatia will be looking at this and will probably be honest enough to admit they've been second best at the moment.
Yeah, they'll be worried a little bit that they haven't sort of been able to get a foothold in the game. Dean Grinic will be thinking what he needs to do to actually change things around.
Knocked away as far as Van der Poel, who cracks one at goal, but over the crossbar.
Not a bad effort, though.
Steve Forshaw, how many times have we seen Canberra Croatia play like this over the years? And as I've mentioned already this season, they go bang, 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 and the game is done, even though you think you've got them. It happens so often with them.
You just cannot relax for a moment with this team. They can be massively outplayed for periods of the game, and then suddenly, within the blink of an eye, they're 2 or 3 goals in front. We saw it last week. We'll see it again before the season finishes. We may even see it today.
Middleton comes to meet. But if you're of a Queanbeyan City persuasion right now, you're more than happy with what you've seen.
Oh, yeah. You'll be rubbing your hands in glee.
There would have been moments last week when they were watching O'Connor Knights being put to the sword that they must have worried. There must have been a thought that, wow, how do we stop this? And they've worked on it, and they've come up with a plan, and we are, 35 minutes or so, 33 minutes into the contest, and it's working to a treat.
I don't know if I mentioned it earlier on, but I was talking to people about this game this morning, and I was saying, if you can contain the front three, like we saw against Tigers, I might have mentioned this when we were talking earlier on, then they're not quite the same outfit. And at the moment, the front three can't get in the game.
The midfield has been won by those in the red shirts. Riley Souza back for Sam Brown. Going to be shot. He's given it away to Van der Poel, and he couldn't get it under his control. And they've dodged another one. Gabriel slides in. Savkovic. We did mention, again, I'll go back to the chat I had with Goran Jozefovski in the tunnel. I said, and we've had this chat as well today. We chatted about it in pre-match. They've got to start taking these chances that come their way, though, because they won't get a huge amount.
Well, they've had more than I thought they would get already. So if they can sort of keep this sort of level of pressure, and they're in again.
Savkovic for Abbott. In behind. Nico Abbott to Ben one. Blocked by Gerbischer. Comes for Roberts. Snuffed out of it by Riley Souza, who does well. Vucetic and James, when he was onside there, if that pass was slightly better.
But now we're seeing how well Canberra Croatia can defend. When they turn their minds to it, very, very hard to break down, very, very hard to take advantage of the little spaces that you might create.
Ayul, Savkovic, they were pumped up at the start, Queanbeyan City. Miyabiashi, Tokic, they're playing like it. A side that's got belief. I asked the question in that little monologue, do they have belief? Well, they certainly do. Pragina's won it back. Tokic likewise. Roberts. Middleton away. And you need to believe in yourself, Steve, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Well, why come? Why turn up? If you can't believe that you're good enough, then don't play. But these guys know they're good enough, and they're showing it today.
They've not got here by fluke.
No.
Yes, they've had a little bit of luck in terms of the draw, in terms of the teams they've had to play. Belconnen United, they won here 3-2. That wasn't an easy game in the win at Gungahlin in close. Brindabella Blues, they won 2-0. They'd have expected to have won both those games. They weren't expected to beat Tigers.
I watched the Belconnen game, and they were probably second best in that game, but still got through.
Blazewski driving forward. Subasic stops him momentarily, comes out for Vanderpoel via Roberts. And he'll take on Spaseski again. And T1 up for Blazewski. Can he get the shot away? Miyabiashi can. It's off target. But here they come again, Queanbeyan City.
There is no doubt about it. If you've just arrived at this game and had a look at this, you would think that the guys in red were the top of the table and the guys in white have just been promoted, because Queanbeyan are on top here.
Canberra Croatia, 7 wins in the league, 37 goals, 5 against. Queanbeyan, 2 wins in the league, only 6 goals they've scored. They've conceded 16 in the league.
They've had a couple of heavy defeats, haven't they?
They got battered 6-0 by O'Connor Knights a few weeks ago. The same O'Connor Knights that Canberra Croatia beat 9-1. I mean, that's what football is, isn't it? It doesn't make any sense.
Follow form and go broke.
Guerrero, Abbott's offside here. Queanbeyan have scored at least 1 goal in each of their last 6 matches in all competitions, but the shutout against Ugadi last weekend was only their 3rd clean sheet they managed in the last 11 in all competitions.
Amazing, though, how much confidence is built when you do the little things well. They're just taking no risks. If there's nothing on, they keep possession. When they go forward, it's to try and get in behind the fullbacks or in behind the central defenders. And the football has been excellent. Excellent.
Sam Brown looking for Spaseski, who's had a real trouble.
I was going to say,
torrid afternoon against Noah Vanderpoel.
That's the word I was going to use. He's had a torrid time against Vanderpoel. This is probably as good a game as Vanderpoel's played for quite some time.
Saw him a couple of weeks ago at High Street playing at left back.
Yeah.
Which was probably not his preferred position, but he was filling in and did a job and did it well. But he's unleashed off the shackles today, isn't he?
He's looked the goods today.
James
again
caught again a little late, as was Guerrero by Keegan Vucetic. Now all Guerrero.
Howls of derision from the Queanbeyan quarters. Good crowd in Russ.
Yeah, making a bit of noise, aren't they?
Miserable old day. Quite a few people on the other side. Not full on the other side, but certainly the main grandstand's the best part of full.
Chock-a-block here, and people standing in the standing room only sections behind us as well. It's because it's out the wind, which is probably helpful. Otherwise, I think there'll be a lot more over that far side as well, Steve.
Yeah, maybe.
Tokic. Blazewski. It's not a bad ball in as well. The deflection might help Abbott's.
Get a corner.
He's going to get a corner. Sam Brown forced to concede it. 6 minutes to the break. Yet another Queanbeyan City corner.
It must be about 6 or 7 to 1, is it? Have they had a corner?
Canberra Croatia have had 3 or 4, I think.
Have they?
But they've had about, must be about 6 or 7, yeah. Maybe more. I haven't got the stats, unfortunately. Nico Abbott to take. Whips it in towards Tokic, who will climb and get there. And it's hacked off the line. It might have come off Tokic last.
Tokic won the header, but not sure. It might have been Subasic on the line that's got it away.
Ayul's climbing. Not going to get there. And yet another chance for Queanbeyan City.
And like I said before, these set pieces are troubling Canberra Croatia. They just haven't been able to get any sort of decent contact on the ball.
And their much vaunted strike force has not had a sniff.
No.
So Tokic got there, and yeah, it was hacked off the line.
Was it Subasic?
It's Daniel Colbertaldo.
Colbertaldo.
Who is well placed at the back.
Well, because they're such similar heights, that's
Absolutely.
why I was confused.
One of the Daniels.
In the lion's den.
Here is Colbertaldo at the other end. James hasn't had a sniff of goal just yet. Neither's Max Green. Colbertaldo, Roberts just robs him. And now the break might be on for Abbots. And he'll let Blazewski run free. Gurubisha steps across, though.
Yeah, great defending. A lot of experience in that run. But again, great transition from from Queanbeyan City.
Van der Poel.
No need for that. Just get a touch, boy.
Queanbeyan City won't want half-time at this rate.
They'll be looking forward to playing with this breeze behind them, though, if they can keep this intensity up.
Vucetic, Pranajina, Leverett sticks a leg out. It'll be a corner kick to Canberra Croatia. Now, wouldn't this be heartbreak?
This would be just typical of Canberra Croatia, though.
Vucetic will take. Ryan Keir will trundle his way forward alongside Daniel Subasic, who's got a bit more spring in the step. Thomas James has gone short for the corner. And now we'll whip it into the area. Middleton does well. Had a good shape on that corner kick.
Didn't trouble the Queanbeyan defence, so Middleton very comfortable under the high ball there.
Sends one towards Abbots. Paseski's won it. Vucetic. Canberra Croatia might look to their bench sooner rather than later. Marko Jadric, Daniel Sparrow, obvious changes that can inject something in that middle of the park, perhaps, Steve, or a bit further forward should they need to.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their bench and 5 or 6 of those players would be playing in any other team.
Gordero.
Dangerous pass.
Colbertaldo's picked it off, but he's won it back, the big centre back, and off and running again. Looking for his amigo. Nico Abbots couldn't find him.
Just a little bit worried if I'm Dina Greenwich about the midfield three. Front three aren't in the game largely because the midfield three can't get a toehold in it either.
Pranajina around the corner, one for Green to get after. Well done by Gabriel Ayul again.
It's got Green bottled up at the moment.
Winning that personal duel. But Green's gone along with the throw. Pranajina's snuck in behind. Ayul's won it back. As I mentioned to Ian Worthington in the other game, Steve, you get the chance to pick player of the match here as well. You get a vote.
Oh, right.
Here's Max Green. Let's remember that in the back of your minds. Here's Daniel Roberts, who's got a fair bit of McKellar Park to move into here. Blazewski ahead, Abbott the other side. Here is Nico Abbots. And everyone stopped. I think I heard a whistle, perhaps.
I did. I thought I heard a whistle. But, again, great break. They're just lacking that little bit of quality in the final third. But if they find it, Canberra Croatia may well find themselves in trouble.
Here's Green. Here's Pranajina. Oh, that's a bit late by Ayul. Pranajina's ball. Max Green was left in a crumpled heap behind. I'm surprised that Gabriel Ayul is going to get away with that one. Christian Tokic is going to send it out, and surely he's not. He's definitely not.
No.
The yellow card will go his way. Wasn't the best of tackles.
No, it was very late.
Second Queanbeyan City player to see yellow. Max Green would have rather the free kick, I think. Didn't get it.
No, but it's hurt him. It's hurt him.
They're certainly ruffling the feathers, aren't they?
Yeah. And I think you alluded to it earlier on when you said that one or two of the dark arts are being employed here, and I think it's a tactic. I mean,
it's football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got to play around it. James, pantomime villain, the front two now. Spaseski, Tokic away. Vucetic, it's all part and parcel of the football, isn't it?
Well, it's up to Canberra Croatia to deal with it and find a way to solve the problems.
Vucetic. Riley Souza. Vucetic What they can't afford to do, Steve, is to have too many leaving the tackles in. Max Green fancied it and find themselves down to 10.
No, the discipline's got to be spot on. But you can't afford to sort of not challenge either.
Colbertaldo, well, that's sat up in the wind. Ayul's been flattened by Pradeshina, but don't think there's much in this. Now,
it was late.
Gareth Biggs is coming over to this near side. There's going to be a card for Goran Jozefovski here for his words that he said to the assistant. Probably round about the Gabriel Ayul challenge. No stranger to a yellow card, the Queanbeyan City coach.
No, he doesn't mind a chat.
In his playing days and now in his coaching days.
Yeah.
But he can... Andy Rakic is having a chat with the fourth official as well.
No, I think
He's having a chat with Goran Jozefovski, isn't he?
I think they're having a go at each other, I think. Both of them are known for their...
diplomatic skills.
the vociferous interjections.
Harrison Cracknell's got his hands full at the moment. He's got his hands full of the fourth officials board as we enter stoppage time at the end of the first half. What are we going to see on that board? A couple of minutes, perhaps? Three's a good shout. I'm going to say 2, just to be different. Savkovic comes in. It's been a good half. It's fairly flown by. Middleton pops it away for Leverett. He's having a trouble with the board here, is Harrison. Just hold the fingers up, mate. We'll we'll let everybody know.
Batteries have gone flat.
No, he's got it here. One. After all that. And do you know what? We've had 56 seconds of that already. We've had the 1 minute of stoppage time.
It's done.
Gunbisher forwards. The touch finds Vucetic. Thomas James. Savkovic is there for Queanbeyan City. Middleton will whack it away. And Queanbeyan City have nearly seen out this first half, and you can't really say that they've seen it out, can I? Because they've been the better side.
They've been well and truly in the mix in this game. Yes, they've shaded it. No doubt that they will be the happier team going in at half-time. I mean, is it complacency on behalf of Canberra Croatia that they haven't quite got into the rhythm, or is it just the way Queanbeyan City have come out and approached this game? I think we've got to be happy that we've got a game on our hands. Queanbeyan City deserve all the credit because they've been marginally the better team. Created a couple of chances, had one cleared off the line, but we go into the break and 0-0 with everything still to play for.
Fired up, enthusiastic, passionate, and in the contest. Queanbeyan City, the underdogs, giving as good as they're getting here, and more so. There's the stats for half-time, Steve. 6 shots to 1 for Queanbeyan City we're seeing here. No shots on target for either side at the moment. 5 corners to 1 for Queanbeyan as well. They're dominating the statistics, but they are dominating the foul counts as well with 2 yellow cards. But 6 shots to 1 and 5 corners to 1 just goes to show how well they're playing.
Well, the stats in this particular instance give an accurate reflection of what's occurred in the first half. I mean, to say they haven't had a shot on target when they've had one cleared off the line is a bit
harsh.
Yeah. But nonetheless, great display for 45 minutes for Queanbeyan. If they can come out and match that in the second half, maybe we've got a cup set on our hands.
Big half-time team talks coming up from both Goran Jozefovski and Dino Glinic below us. We'll take a bit of a break and process what's happened here as the fans decide to get towards the canteen. But at the break in Hahn Australia Cup qualifying final here at McKellar Park, a place in around 32 up for grabs. We're no nearer to knowing who it will be. It's Queanbeyan City 0, Canberra Croatia 0. Welcome back to McKellar Park, where we are set for the second half of the Hahn Australia Cup qualifying final. Queanbeyan City, the underdogs, and Canberra Croatia locked at 0-0. I'm Russ Gibbs. Steve Forshaw is still with me. Steve, we can see, and we saw it at half-time, Marko Jadric ready to join us for Canberra Croatia. They're going to make a change, and one perhaps that they need to. We do not yet know who it will be for. Harrison Crackner will tell us in just a second. And it is number 8, Keegan Vucetic. There you go.
Keegan Vucetic. Well, that's not what I would have
And
picked.
Daniel Sparrow, is that number 24 on as well?
Yes, I think so. He's just standing over the ball at the moment.
On for Nick Pratagina. So a double change for Dina Grinic.
Yeah, interesting. Obviously not happy with what he's seen in the first half. A first half that really saw Queanbeyan City not dominate, but certainly edge. And if they can keep that level of intensity up with the quality that they've shown, I think we're in for a hell of a game.
Well, a double half-time change for Canberra Croatia. And they are needing something. Can they start the second half better than they did the first? Here's Marko Jadric, and an immediate save from Nick Middleton. It didn't take long.
Well, that's substitute to substitute. Sparrow got a great cross in after winning a ball he really shouldn't have, and then he gets a ball into the box, and Marko Jadric on the end of it pulls out a great save from Middleton. Great start for Canberra Croatia. Obviously, they've been revved up in the changing room, and we're going to see a far more potent Canberra Croatia team, if that's anything to go by anyway.
Ryan Keir, Jadric, Souza, Sparrow, Gayul back from Middleton. Already a sharper, swifter start for Croatia.
Yeah, much better performance in the first openings of this second half from Canberra Croatia, and again sharp into the tackle.
One back by Spaseski. Didn't have the most enjoyable of 45 minutes, Tony Spaseski.
No, Van der Poel gave him a fair old game.
Green. Spaseski. Colbertaldo moving the ball much swifter and quicker than they did in the first half. Keir, Jadric, Colbertaldo, Gudbischer,
Great
Souza.
football. This is the Canberra Croatia we've come to know and love. Wasted.
Till that final ball through.
Yeah. Said in the first half that I thought the midfield was struggling a little bit, and the Dina Grinic has obviously agreed with that, and he's made the changes to add a little bit of creativity, a little bit of energy, a little bit of mobility. And so far, very early stage, it's paid a dividend.
Well, they started off much better, didn't they, the second half, early stage.
Can they weather the storm? The game plan at the start of the first half would have been stay in the game, and I think you mentioned the incremental advancements that they were looking to make. Well, they did that for the first half, got into the first half and sort of shaded it. Now they're going to have to weather the storm a little bit.
Sparrow putting pressure on Tokic. He's all energy, Daniel Sparrow.
Yeah,
he's a physical presence as well.
Yeah, he'll certainly add a little bit of grunt up front, a little bit of energy and enthusiasm. High work rate.
Spaseski, Colbertaldo, Gudbischer. I mentioned that Queanbeyan City might not want half-time to come.
They probably don't now.
Well, Canberra Croatia have had a rocket put up them, it would seem. Souza, Jadric, Keir. Sharp turn by Sparrow. And the delivery's not bad either. It's Thomas James from the angle. Middleton with a save. Savkovic hoiks it half to safety. James won it back and then fully away by Marko Savkovic.
Well, that's 2 saves in the first few minutes of the second half. We didn't see any at all, apart from the almost own goal. Much better start from Canberra Croatia.
Guerrero goes long. Gerbischer wins the header. Souza back for Gerbischer again. Roberts
Turns bad balls into good balls, Daniel Sparrow, with his work rate. That's twice now since the start of the second half. He's won things, or almost won things, that he should never have got near.
And it lifts those around him as well.
Absolutely, it's inspirational.
Looks like a different Canberra Croatia at the start of this second half. Queanbeyan City, like you say, will need to weather it for a bit. It was coming.
Yeah, we weren't going to go 90 minutes without seeing their true colours, that's for sure.
Tokic. Do you know what, though, Steve? I don't think, from whatever happens from here on in, they can be very proud of what they put in that first 45, and they're very much in this cup final.
Look, even for the first 45 minutes, they were excellent. Excellent. But even at the start of their second half, they're still 0-0. The game has not drifted away from them.
Daniel Sparrow's copped a yellow card there, and I don't know how much of that was he was going to get a yellow card before the reaction of everybody else around, because Gareth Biggs didn't look like he was going to give it.
He might have been convinced by the benches, the players, the crowd. I hope not. It was late. It was a foul. We saw a few of them in the first half. Maybe he's come out in the second half and decided he's not going to let this game get out of hand. And if that's the case, all credit to him. Daniel Sparrow is no stranger, of course, to yellow cards. He does like to live on the edge of games.
But he's got to be a good boy for the next 40-odd minutes.
And it's not in his game to change.
Mentioned in the first half, with Queanbeyan City getting stuck into some tackles, how they'd need to be careful. Well, the same applies to Daniel Sparrow now.
Yeah, of course it does.
Blazewski up against Riley Souza. Yardrich settled in nicely, hasn't he? Savkovic wins it, though. Just wanted it that little bit more.
He was in a lot more space than what I think he realised, and he could have actually had another touch and played.
Well, what most people wanted when they came here this afternoon, Steve, was a contest. And that's what we've got. There was a lot of talk in the week about whether or not they'd get blown out of the water here, Queanbeyan City. They're a proud football club. They would have heard that talk, and maybe that's motivated them as well.
I think that, and the fact that, like we said at the start, they've got nothing to lose. I mean, because everybody was talking that way, they came into this as savage underdogs.
I don't know what the odds were, but I think I heard rumours of 11-1.
I heard
outsiders.
$29, I think it was.
29 was it at one stage? Wow.
In a 2-horse race.
Miyabiashi, Roberts. That's incredible odds, isn't it, for a cup final? James.
But it sort of emphasises the sort of form that Canberra Croatia have been in. Everybody expected this to be one-way traffic, but cup finals just don't work that way.
They rarely turn into a romp, do they?
I mean, we saw in the FA Cup final, Crystal Palace beat Man City. Nobody would have picked that at the start of the year. This could go either way. This is still very much an open contest.
We mentioned this in commentary not long back, Steve. Oh, James, that's sneaky. It's a lovely little backheel free kick to Riley Souza, who's brought down by Jack Leverett's free kick, Canberra Croatia. Mention it, Manchester City lost to Crystal Palace. Aberdeen beat Celtic in the cup final. Arminia Bielefeld, Division 3 in Germany, got to the German cup final. You know, the cup upsets, it's been a year of cup upsets.
It has, and it has. And we're in the middle of one possibly now.
Newcastle beating Liverpool, I guess, could be classed as a cup upset in the Carabao Cup.
Well, given Liverpool's form, you could say that.
Sparrow Breaks for Max Green. Can't break into the area. Away by Savkovic. He's done a huge amount of work, Marko Savkovic.
He's been very, very good.
Canberra Croatia don't even get a throw in, and temperatures are raising. The Queanbeyan City fans are raising. Yeah, I mean, not literally, because that would be nice. Yeah. Kenrick Winchester, the mayor of Queanbeyan, says it's 10 degrees warmer at South Jerebombra. I don't believe him for a minute. Ryan Keir forwards.
It's great atmosphere. It's a game that's got everything so far, apart from a goal.
Savkovic, Van der Poel. 10 minutes into the second half. No, Van der Poel can't get past Spaseski. Max Green bundled out of it by Van der Poel. Point to prove against his former employers, perhaps?
Yeah, no doubt. Certainly, he would be wanting a better performance than the first game of the season.
Savkovic, great ball that is. Blazewski's got half a yard on Souza, who sticks manfully to it. Jadric under pressure from Miyabayashi. Doesn't get flustered too often, Marko Jadric.
No, had nowhere to go then, though. Saw the early stages of the game where they just sat off. Now the press is in full flight.
Leverett ricochets. Ryan Keir got there. Thomas James, Tokic touch tight to him, ripping the shirt off his back as well. And it's frustrating for Thomas James, this.
Tactic. This is deliberate. There is no doubt about it that Thomas James is to be given no room whatsoever. And if we've got to stop him by fair means or foul, that's what we're going to do.
It might ruffle a few feathers of the purists.
It will, for sure.
But it is part and parcel of the game.
Well, certainly part and parcel of this one.
Sam Brown goes long. Max Green's peeled away. Gabriel Ayul charging down that flank.
Great game so far.
He's been excellent, hasn't he?
Yep. Him and Savkovic for Queanbeyan have been amongst the best on the park.
I will, at later stage, ask you for your nomination for player of the match. You don't have to say it aloud. I don't want you to. I'll just get you to point to a player on the team sheet, and you can keep your vote anonymous.
Anonymous?
He's not playing, but you can't vote for him.
Is that Mickey Mouse's brother?
Did he? Played in that Belconnen team with you back in 1984.
85, thank you.
You're glad I said 80s.
Not sure which century.
1885.
I was told during the week, because I'd reached another milestone, that all my history was written in hieroglyphics.
Yeah, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Happy birthday, by the way, for in the week, Steve.
Thank you very much.
It was it Friday, was it?
Thursday.
Knew it was one of the days.
Well, yeah.
Good like that, see? Yeah, a bit harsh, those young boys telling you about your thingies.
Yeah, hieroglyphics. I should be reviewing their selection next week.
Getting a couple of calls through. Anthony Davella and family watching in from Tuscany.
Tuscany.
Yeah, nice and warm there for them, isn't it, I'd imagine. Jadric with Tokic. He's had a couple of bites now, Christian Tokic.
Got to give a free kick.
Doesn't get one, and Roberts turns it over. Subasic back there to clear. There's a bit of words in backfield as well. Tokic with Marko Jadric.
It was definitely a foul. I mean, he's
got away with one, the big centre-back.
He did. He's grabbed him round the back of the neck.
It might be one or two Canberra Croatia players and officials on the bench that might wonder about this. I'm just looking at it again, and it's a clear foul.
Yeah, it was. But great start to the start of the second half. Canberra Croatia came out firing guns. Gradually, Queanbeyan have got themselves back in this. This is one hell of a contest.
Ayul with the long throw into the area. Who did that come off last?
Abbott, I think.
Well, there's an injury down there.
Is it Abbott? No, it's
not.
Guerrero, I think. Is it?
Might have got a knock on the head. We'll be able to watch it again, second, Steve, on here. I think it might be Naul Guerrero.
Guerrero. Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Makes a great run. Comes from deep, and I think he makes contact with the ball. And then
and contact with Matt Gerbischer at the same time, which is never advised. It was launched into the area.
Yeah, it might be the way he landed too.
Yeah, it was awkward. But quarter of an hour into the second half, closing in on the hour mark. 0-0.
But a good 0-0. It's a good watch.
It's got that undertone that either side could score. It might tick on over as well, and there might be one or two tackles coming in.
It could explode into...
It's a proper cup tie.
It is.
There is a massive prize at stake here, of course, as well. The chance to represent the capital on the national stage in the round of 32. For Canberra Croatia, it's something they've done twice since the reformation, I should say, of the Australia Cup, or the FA Cup as it's called. The Hahn Australia Cup, and Queanbeyan City, of course, never been there. This time last year, they were plodding along, pushing for promotion from the Capital Premier League.
And not worried about this competition because they wanted to get out. And now they're 30 minutes away of possibly being in a national competition. What a rise to fame that has been.
They've been bold, brave and belligerent throughout the hour that we've played so far.
Nothing like a bit of alliteration, is there? Eh?
Love it.
Love it.
Naul Guerrero's plucking himself up from the turf and will shake it off. He's a warrior at the back.
Had a great game.
The Argentine central defender.
Had a great game in both boxes.
Had his say in the semi-final. He was the man that strode forward to win it and send them here, and there was never any doubt, was there, Steve?
No.
He never looked like missing. They would fancy it if it got that far, Queanbeyan City.
It's a lottery. If it gets that far, it's a lottery. Anybody can win it. It's not about who's on your team sheet then. It's just about who can take the penalty and be calmest.
Ryan Keir looking for the ball over the top. Tokic won it. Colbertaldo bundled off it by Roberts. Here goes Ayul. Slide rule ball for Van der Poel, and he's got half a yard here as well. Blazewski arriving in the middle.
Great
Really good defending, wasn't it? Matt Gerbischer got rid of it. Not only got rid of it, but it turned into a good pass for Yardrich. James. Keir. And now Yardrich has got half a yard up the other end. Sparrow in the middle. Green on the far post. It's in towards Max Green. Ayul with the good defending. James has a go at Leverett.
Leverett's got to be careful. He's already on a card, isn't he?
I'm not sure he is he? Did he get one early? No, he didn't. Gabriel and Daniel Roberts on cards.
Okay. Guerrero rejoins us.
And Riley Souza will take the throw. As they seek a breakthrough. Goals have been easy to come by this season for Canberra Croatia in all but one game. The loss to Tigers just up the road here at the AEST. James, well, he fancied it from an improbable angle.
Can't blame him for taking the shot, but that's about as wide as you're going to get one.
Do you know what? With the quality he's got, you would not have bet against it nestling in that top corner.
Oh, he's capable.
He's had a frustrating afternoon. What's been a credit to him, though, as well, is that he's been ruffled a few times, kicked a few times, fouled a few times. He just got up and got on with it.
Yeah,
it's a mature display.
He's had a couple of little niggles off the ball, but by and large, he's played with a maturity that perhaps a couple of years ago we may not have seen.
And he might well have his say. He might well have the say.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if Dina Grinic went to his bench again within the next 10 or 15 minutes, and I think maybe Colbertaldo might be one of the people that...
He's got two defenders on the pitch. Flag's gone up here. He's got on the bench, rather, David Sasalia, right full-back, Jack Porach-Cullen, the centre-back, and Ivica Samajatic, midfielder, under-23 skipper.
Well, that might just save Colbertaldo because he doesn't have a lot of experienced midfielders there, although you can bring somebody on and play Sparrow a little bit deeper, perhaps.
Yeah, not much in terms of forward threat.
No.
There's plenty out there, though. Good, Bishop. Just the presence of Nico Abbots was enough.
Yeah. Just, Matty's, he's just looked a little bit casual today.
Sousa's won the header. Roberts. Colbertado sticks a leg out, and it's a good leg. And it's found Sparrow. Got away from Guerrero. And delivered towards James, who's pulled it back towards Green, and that's really good defending by Roberts again. Talk about warriors. He's been brilliant, Daniel Roberts.
Yeah.
Everyone in red has stood up, though. They needed to, and they have.
Yeah. Just a little bit slow to get out now. Maybe they're feeling the pinch. Have to watch it for the next 10 and see what happens.
Well, how much can you run on adrenaline?
Yeah, and they have been. And eventually, when that adrenaline stops, fatigue sets in really quickly. And it's usually your heads that go first.
Subasic. We deal in a world of ifs, buts and maybes, Steve. But if Canberra Croatia were to score, I wonder how much Queanbeyan City would have left. However, should Queanbeyan City score, that might give them the jolt they need.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hypothetical. We don't know, Russ, do we? You're
channeling Roy Kent from Ted Lasso, though. Don't know, do we?
Don't know. But
we don't. That's why I said it's a world of ifs, buts and maybes.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
But you do know that goals change games one way or the other. So you would imagine that if they were to concede now, then it would be a body blow that they might not recover from. But if they would score, like you say, it might lift them onto an even greater effort.
Well, we're coming up to the stage of the game with 25 minutes to play, where any goal might prove to be the crucial, critical one.
Well, yes, it could.
It hasn't looked like a game that's going to have multiple goals in it, even though we talked all about the cup finals before. Both sides have been at it from the beginning. Queanbeyan had the better of the first half. Arguably, Croatia have had the better of the second. Sousa.
Certainly the start of it, and I think Yadrich and Sparrow have made a big difference.
Here is Sparrow, but they have defended manfully. Queanbeyan City dealt with everything that's been thrown at them so far.
65 gone, another 10 minutes, and I should imagine it's real nervous time then, and they start thinking about not losing rather than going on to win.
Spaseski can't keep it in. On the bench for Queanbeyan City, we've not seen any changes yet. We've got Seth Bonnet, Charlie Ray, Michael Garrich, Samuel Abba and Miško Nomoski. Now, with all due respect, outside of Miško Nomoski, it's a very young bench, isn't it?
It is. But Seth Bonnet's been playing very well. He's been getting the odd goal here and there.
Scored the winner at Ugali last week in the 90th minute. I'm wondering whether Goran Jozovski's thinking about that and going, wonder if he's got it in him again.
Well, it's amazing how it happens in twos and threes.
Seth Bonnet, who scored that goal.
Charlie Ray's had a good season for him as well.
He has. Now, Canberra Croatia have handed over a sheet of paper to Harrison Cracknell, which means we're going to get a change in a minute.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
But there's no indication of who it is at the moment. I think it's Jack Parach Cullen, in fact, maybe getting ready down there on the bench. Well, that's a big win by Ryan Keir. Gerdebischer under this. Comes out for Van der Poel. Bounces for Abbots. Van der Poel for the return. Noah Van der Poel from the angle. And Sam Brown denies his former teammates.
But that was a really good chance on his left foot. I mean, he's hit the target. He's made the goalkeeper work, which is an absolute minimum, but should have done better from that side.
Change number 3 will be Jack Parach Cullen. Who's it likely to be? Is it one of the centre-backs? Is it a change? Well, this is an interesting change. It says 8 for 4. Nobody's got any of those numbers on. What's happened there? Thomas James has come off.
Yeah, he looked like he was feeling his hamstring.
So that's Thomas James off. And Jack Parach Cullen on. That's 5 for 9, not 8 for 4. I don't know what's going on in that in that board. So Thomas James off.
Yeah, he looked like he was carrying a knock as he came off. And it may well have been from the moment before when he got involved in a challenge, I think, and just pulled up a bit lame.
Offside there against Lukas, but Riley Souza's now gone up top. Jack Parach Cullen, for those of you tuning in from interstate, you'll recognise the name. His brother, not a bad goalkeeper for the Central Coast Mariners.
Yeah, had a great year. In a season that didn't quite live up to their expectations, he did very well.
Big loss that, though. There's another lift if you're Queanbeyan City. You look across and see Thomas James limping off. You think job very much done on him
absolutely.
today?
At the start of the game, they would have been saying, let's keep him quiet, let's give him no room. And if we can get him off the park, and it's worked out exactly how they might have planned it.
This is a guy with 7 league goals and 12 assists in the National Premier League already this season, and a couple of goals in the Cup as well. He's been in rampant form. Not today.
No, he was pretty quiet today. But he was well marshalled. You've got to say that he was subjected to a little bit of physicality and was marked really tightly out of the game. And unfortunately for Canberra Croatia, they just couldn't get him going.
Matt Gerbischer. Parach Cullen's not going to keep that in. Every misplaced pass, every tackle cheered to the rafters by those sporting the Queanbeyan City badge.
It's exactly what they want. They want them rattled. They want them trying to do things that they don't want to do.
Tokic comes across to nick it off the toes of Sparrow.
Frustrating for them.
I'm not sure they've been this strangled even in that Tigers game.
No.
The Tigers thoroughly deserved that victory over them in the league.
I think he's concussed.
Yeah, Noel Guerrero isn't in a good way here, is he?
No.
And this will be a big loss as well.
Yeah, they can't afford this.
Wondering if their change will be.
Have they got a central defender on the bench?
Well, Michael Galich might have to fill in that role, I think.
Unless they push Savkovic, is it?
He could go back into central defence and Galich into midfield. Marko Savkovic has played defence this year. Noel Guerrero is done. And as much as Thomas James is a big loss,
this is bigger, I think.
This is a big loss for these boys.
Yeah, he looks just a little bit concussed.
And here's Michael Galich, who will come on. Now the question is, where will he play?
Savkovic has dropped in temporarily.
Well, like I say, he's been there this year.
But he looks like he's actually going in there now. Yeah.
And this is a big loss for Queanbeyan.
Oh.
Sparrow. Oh, and it's hit Ayul. And it was destined for the corner.
But Ayul had a miss kick to set Sparrow up, and it looked like the mistake that might have cost them the game wasn't there to be taken advantage of.
He made the error. He redeemed himself.
Yeah.
Daniel Colbertallo with the corner kick. Parach Cullen's in there, adding his considerable height. Tokic is picking him up. Colbertallo swings it in. Subasic almost got there. Blazewski away and Spaseski. Back for Brown. Roberts stretches a leg out when he's trodden on it. And it might come for Parach Cullen. Riley Souza. Sparrow went outside. Souza didn't use him. Miyabayashi will launch one for Blazewski to chase. And he's quick and direct, Thomas Blazewski. Gerbischer's come across to help out. And in the end, the double teamed him with Parach Cullen. Yardrich. Tokic steps in. Some tired legs out there now, as you would expect. Galich has dropped into central defence, Steve.
Yeah, he has. Oh.
He is tall and rangy. And time is ticking away. 17 minutes. Extra time, of course, if necessary.
Should be nice and warm when the sun goes down there.
Glad of the thermals. Gabe Ayul with the throw. Max Green plucked it out of the air. And he's taking on Ayul. And he's away from him.
Oh.
And it's going to come for Riley Souza and Daniel Sparrow and Ryan Keir. And it was always too high.
Yes. I think Max Green's still got something to say in this game. He's just, as the opposition start to tire a little bit, I think he'll come into his own and he will be somebody they're going to have to keep a very sharp eye on.
Nick Middleton hasn't been overly tested today. He's had some saves to make, routine ones. And one good one in the first half from Daniel Roberts from his own player. A bit of friendly fire.
Good save from the Jadrick header.
Yep.
At the start of the second half. But apart from that, he's been largely underused, untested.
Spaseski, Keir. Middleton away.
Oh.
Roberts. Miyabayashi. Blazevski. It's come off of Parach Cullen.
Yeah, poor option. He should have been using the overlap, I think, would have been much better option.
Steve, a lot of the games that Canberra Croatia have been crushing teams in this year have been at Deakin Stadium. I'll come back to this point in a minute. Roberts. Well won by Colbertaldo. Not that the venue should make much of a difference, but they are a different side away from home. And I know it's neutral today for both teams.
Yeah, but it's
just ironic, really, when you look at the way they've been playing.
It's a quirk of football, I think. I don't know that it makes that much difference for us, but
I'm sure it doesn't. Sparrow, well, that's a bit hefty from Galich.
The one game that they've lost was, of course, at the Institute of Sport, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Michael Galich gets himself a yellow card. Welcome to the final.
It was as late as we've seen today, that particular challenge. Worthy of a further sanction, and he's attracted the ire of the referee.
15 minutes to go. If you're playing in increments, this is the final increments, really, isn't it?
Near enough.
Final quarter of an hour.
Yeah, but it's really at that time that nobody wants to make the mistake that's going to cost them a goal.
Colbertaldo tasked with the delivery. Max Green, Parach Cullen and Subasic on the far post. That's in towards Ryan Keir. Was met by Daniel Roberts. Spaseski.
Done well.
Clips it into the area. Lever it away. Souza just dinks it back in. Nodded clear by Galich. Blazevski finds Abbots. They normally drag Nico Abbott after about 65 minutes. I doubt they could drag him off today. They want him for that moment. He hasn't had a sniff, really, of goal, Nico Abbott, all afternoon, but
he only needs one.
Yep, you wouldn't bet against him. They've done themselves incredibly proud. Tokic. Miyabayashi, Tokic. And we're at this stage of the cup tie now, Steve, where you're thinking, well, we just want this to be won by something special rather than an error.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it seldom works that way.
Ayul Roberts, good foot in by Manny Gerbisher again. Equally so by Roberts. What a Trojan he's been. One back by Parach Cullen. Keir. Souza. Parach Cullen. Great challenge, Jack Leveretts. And likewise, Parach Cullen. Nothing in this at all. Blazevski letting himself get involved. Sam Abbott is getting ready to come on. Gerbisher slides in. Colbertaldo. Roberts happy to go back. He was caught late there by Ryan Keir.
I think he's given the free kick too.
And there's a hand of apology from Ryan Keir. Roberts wants to go early with it. Abbott's peeled away. Parach Cullen just nods it out. Big Sam Abbott, firm fan favourite with the Queanbeyan faithful.
Yeah, who's the change? It might be Van der Poel. If it is, it's a bit unfortunate because he's had a very good game.
It's often Nico Abbott, as I say, with rounded at these times. But he'd be brave to take off your main marksman. Unless he's got nothing left, of course. Ayul. He is approaching 40, Nico Abbott. And there is Abbott! And I thought that was his moment.
Great run from Ayul again. He's had a really, really strong game down that left. And what a cross. Picked out the only player in the box from a Queanbeyan point of view who just managed to get it over the bar. Great chance, great opportunity, great football.
Manny Gerbischer and Daniel Subasic at the back were caught napping. In between the pair of them, Nico Abbott. Do you know what? It's got us on our feet for the whole of this second half as well, Steve, hasn't it? It's been that
watch.
kind of cup final.
You know, without there being masses of goalmouth incident, it's been a game where you've wanted to watch. You know, it's been a battle in midfield. You know, there's no room. People are actually getting stuck in. It's like a good old-fashioned game of football when you're allowed to tackle.
It's not been a cup classic by any means, has it? But it has been a cracking match. Sparrow, that's wonderful. Now Tokic has brought him down here, and he's going to get a yellow card.
Look at this.
The bench up in arms again.
No, some people throwing cans onto the park.
I didn't see that.
How stupid are they?
That's a bit dumb, isn't it? Things we don't really want to see. I was writing down the yellow cards.
Somebody throwing a beer can on the park.
It's come from our left. Which is where the Canberra Croatia fans are usually sat. Tokic has been asking for a yellow card for a while.
Yeah.
And he's got one now. Marko Jadric with this free kick. Cluster of bodies on that far post.
Poor one.
It's found its way through anyway. And it almost came from Riley Souza. And they'll settle for the corner.
It's probably the worst free kick that's been taken today, and it's created one of the better chances.
Into the final 9. Daniel Colbertaldo to take. Whips it in dangerously. Ryan Keir was there. Sparrow drills it through the crowd. Savkovic half away. Max Green. Jadric tried to get the shot in. Green. Colbertaldo dinks it across. Retrieved by Sparrow. Jadric. Good angle on the ball. Flicked on by Max Green, and it wasn't far away.
No, it had the keeper scrambling across his mind, but it was a neat little flick, but it was never on target, so no panic from a Queanbeyan point of view. But a little bit of pressure now being exerted by Canberra Croatia as this game moves towards its final moments. Becomes a test now of the fittest.
Extra time
looming large,
becoming a distinct possibility. And do you know what, Steve? Even though it's very cold, and my feet are getting cold, and everything else is cold, I don't really want it to end. It's been a good watch.
I've enjoyed it. I really have. And I must say, my feet are causing me problems in terms of temperature.
Do you know, I put some thermal socks on today, and I'm glad I did, and they're just about losing their edge.
Well, I'm only wearing thongs.
You're still talking about your footwear. Blazewski.
No, he's had a crack. Not a bad attempt. Wasn't going to trouble Brown with that sort of shot, but end-to-end stuff. Oh, Ewell's been really good down that left-hand side.
You might have to have a rain check on your potential player of the match until we get to the end of extra time, of course, if we go that far.
Yep.
We are entering the point of no return if there's a goal scored, correct?
Well, you'd think that if you could score now, you're a chance, wouldn't you?
What's the chances of someone scoring now and then immediately there's a response?
Yeah. It's happened before.
Well, the spin on the ball did for Gerbischer bowled. That's an old Shane Warne leg break, isn't it?
It was.
Middleton away.
Oh, yeah.
Savkovic can't get a touch. Ryan Keir. Colbertaldo.
Good a shot.
Keir. Yardrich.
Oh.
He's kept it in with Blazevski. Parach Cullen. Souza. Keir. Subasic. Colbertaldo. Sparrow. Colbertaldo. Sparrow for the return. It's come off Tokic. Ayul away.
Great defending again. Closing the passing lanes off.
And Ayul once more. Roberts. Gurbish.
Oh.
Unfortunate slip.
It wasn't a great touch from Matty Gurbish, was it? But the slip let him off.
Colbertaldo. Daniel Colbertaldo often, as I say, on big days like this, doesn't he?
And he's just coming into the game more than he has been.
Souza, what a touch that is. Parach Cullen. And he goes down under the challenge of Tokic. The question will be asked. It looks. And it's been waved away. And it was a big, big call. A big, big moment in the cup final. And Steve Forshaw, there's a card coming out here.
Yeah, Andy Rakic.
For Andy Rakic. But goodness me, we can see the replay when we see it in a second. It was a touch from Souza, was excellent. There wasn't much ball involved.
No ball involved at all.
On another day, that might well have been a penalty.
I think so. I think Canberra Croatia can.
With VAR, you're probably given a spot kick, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why, if it isn't a spot kick, then the Croatia player hasn't been booked for simulation.
There was definite contact.
There was no ball involved.
And there was no ball. Queanbeyan City may have dodged one, but their luck may have entitled them to dodge one. It was a massive call in the scheme of things.
I don't think if Canberra Croatia lose now, they'll be particularly happy with the refereeing on that occasion.
Colbertaldo with the corner kick into the danger area. Parach Cullen was the target, but he couldn't get there, smashed away. Andy Rakic is fuming.
He's not a happy chap at all.
Yardrich goes long. You can understand as well, can't you? Because it was a massive moment in the cup final.
I mean, a few minutes ago, penalty.
Here's a chance for Riley Souza to break through. Riley Souza stabbed it at goal and it lost all its power. Canberra Croatia suddenly turning the screw. What have we got left here? We're just running out of time. 4 minutes, is it? 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
Middleton away.
Offside
against Abbott. Just a chance for everyone to calm down and draw a breath.
Controversial moment in the cup final.
I mean, you ask everybody in the room or in the stadium and at home, half of them will say it's a penalty, half of them will say it's not, and it depends which colour you're rooting for, doesn't it?
Well, I'm saying penalty.
From a neutral perspective, it did look like they might have got away with one. And Tokic already on a yellow card, Steve.
Yeah, it might have been off. Maybe that's why it wasn't given.
Big moments.
Huge. Absolutely huge. I hope the referee's right. When we see it again, we can take the passion out of it. Maybe the referee's got it right because it...
Well, it's just boiling over a bit here. Off the ball, Daniel Subasic fouled Daniel Roberts and then threw him off him. Everyone's having a word with the fourth officials at the moment. Just need someone. I think whoever calms down here, Steve, is going to win this final.
Take a deep breath. Chillax, as they say.
Yeah.
And get on with the game.
You're not always going to get the decision.
No.
But, I mean, you can understand the frustration on such a stage. But it just adds to the drama from a neutral perspective. Subasic. Sends it forward. It's Spaseski was knocked off the ball. Daniel Colbertaldo has helped him out. Spaseski to send it forward. Max Green was chasing. We're going to see the fourth officials board soon. Sparrow. That's taken a deflection, could go anywhere. Blazewski sends it up towards Sam Brown.
Certainly, Canberra Croatia are finishing the game the stronger. But the effort that Queanbeyan have put in, it's no surprise. They're basically out on the legs. Extra time could be...
Into the final minutes. Parach Cullen can't knock it past Leverett and then catches him on the follow-through, and he'll cop a yellow card as well.
How many yellow cards
Jack
is that?
Parach Cullen. Well, let me count them. That's 2 for Canberra Croatia and 4 for Queanbeyan, but that's just the ones on the field. And there's 1 each for the bench as well. So 5 for Queanbeyan, 3 for Croatia. 8 cards. Not quite the 15 and 5 reds we had down in Ugali last week of the 23s. Galic bounced off of Max Green. Savkovic saves the blushes. Into the final couple of seconds, Harrison Cracknell will hold aloft the board, and we will see how much we've got left. It will be 5 minutes. Sparrow, Green, Sparrow. Is this the moment for Sparrow? It's a corner.
Good defending again, but they're just struggling now as the Canberra Croatian team click into top gear. Queanbeyan need the final whistle, regather, regroup, get the breath back and go again in extra time. But this game's not over yet.
Cole Bataldo with the set piece. Launches one into the area. It's come off the back of Sparrow, I think. He's gone down with a head injury. And that's why we stopped. It was a nasty one too.
Yeah, 2 of them down.
Took a clonk on the head, Daniel Sparrow, but gives us all a chance to draw breath, Steve, and wonder where we're at.
Well, we're at 0-0 with full time. Only 3 or 4 minutes away, and we're looking at injury time, extra time, and maybe penalties. But I can't speak highly enough of how Queanbeyan have conducted themselves today. They've been extremely good, very competitive in a game where they were expected to roll over and die. But this is just what true football spirit's all about. This is what playing for your badge is all about, and they've done it in spades today.
This is what playing on the national stage and around the 32 means.
It does.
It lifts the intensity. Middleton launches it.
Now, this is a team that was beaten 5-0 or 5-1 start of the season by this very same Canberra Croatia team.
Max Green steps inside a couple. Marko Jadric. Daniel Sparrow. Jack Leverett away. Yeah, they're a different football side now, Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Against a really good Canberra Croatia side too. Probably haven't been at the best today, but certainly in the second half they've turned it on. Start of the second half came out red hot, finishing the game strongly, and they've got one more opportunity here to put the ball into the penalty area, and this, if it results in a goal, will be the winner.
In the 3rd minute of 5 to be added on. Cole Bataldo again to swing it into the danger area. Savkovic won it. Abbott away. Van der Poel, don't know where he's got that burst from. The exuberance of youth, that is, Steve. Up against Spaseski. Good pace for the 93rd minute.
For both of them. Van der Poel really set the afterburners on fire.
Spaseski replied in kind. Galic. Middleton always charged down by Sparrow.
The sort of mistake you don't want to be making at this stage of the game. Saw it against Tuggeranong with Gungahlin, didn't we, the other night? Not that it was the winning goal, but it was certainly costly.
Certainly put the game to bed, didn't it?
Yeah.
In the 90th minute. Speaking of which, Wednesday night,
full round of fixtures.
Be not busy. Strider Park, Monero Panthers versus Canberra Croatia. Monero Panthers will be watching this and going, love an extra half an hour. Paul McCall and his group. Their squad's been bolstered in the transfer window as well.
Well, they've lost Lukas McCall, of course,
to Canberra Juventus, but they've replaced him with Fakedi Manda from O'Connor Knights, which is a big sign. We might see him on Wednesday. 1 minute left. Ayul. How will Canberra Croatia pick themselves up off the carpet after this one as well? Some tired legs, no doubt. Sparrow. Green will chase. Ayul goes back. He's been exceptional today.
Has not put a foot out of place.
Savkovic. Heart of a lion. Wearing one on his chest as well. Roberts likewise. Van der Poel looking for Blazevski. And the bounce will skip off the turf, and Sam Brown's not hanging around. Marko Jadric. Miyabayashi threw himself into that one. Now Jack Leverett to advance forward and swing it towards Abbott.
Nobody there. Had to be a good ball to find Abbott, but great intervention from a defensive point of view. Just like the quality in the cross.
Into time added on of time added on. Subasic. Green will challenge. Galic hooks it away. Savkovic gets it under control, and he has a go. Why not?
Why not?
Bit more elevation.
Might have had Brown in trouble, you're dead right.
Ayul's won it. So Spaseski. Savkovic. Under the floodlights now at McKellar Park. Blazevski's challenging, bit of a shirt pull on Porat Cullen right in front of the assistant. Yeah, Adam Powers in front of us. Has seen plenty of that. A-League experience for Adam Powers, of course.
Yes, yes.
Definitely seen one or two of those challenges before. Lovely touch from Souza. Lovely touch from Jadric. And here goes Sparrow in stoppage time of stoppage time. It's Daniel Sparrow for Canberra Croatia. It's loose in front. And it's so surely, somehow, unbelievable block on the goal line. I'm not sure how it didn't go in. Max Green had the cup in his hands.
Oh my goodness.
And it's the last kick of the contest.
How
and Canberra Croatia have somehow not won it in stoppage time of stoppage time. How did it stay out, Steve?
First of all, you've got Sparrow in behind with a great opportunity, does the right thing, tries to open his body up, and then how that stays out, I've got no idea. It should have been the winner.
Nick Middleton with a save of all saves to deny Daniel Sparrow. Gabe Ayul with the block of all blocks to deny Max Green from turning it home. And Steve Forshaw, we're going to do an extra half an hour.
Good.
Unbelievable ending. You thought that was the moment.
It was the moment, wasn't it? But it's unfortunate from a Canberra Croatia point of view that they haven't been able to take it. Great game to watch.
As soon as the ball ricocheted to Max Green,
you're thinking,
I was prepared to call the goal.
Yep.
It was almost, game was over. The cup was in their hands. A place in the round of 32 was in their hands. And Gabriel Ayul, who's had a magnificent cup final, just threw himself in the way.
He's just capped it off. He really has. We've had a magnificent spectacle today. This game, it could well be that it's Queanbeyan's night. It could well be. I mean, they should have been dead and buried now, but
10
they're not.
shots to 8 to Queanbeyan. Croatia 4 on target to 3, it says on our stats. 6 corners to 5 to Canberra Croatia. 15 fouls to 8 to Croatia, in fact, but the yellow cards 4 to 2 in favour of Queanbeyan. You can see all that on your screen in a moment if it's not already come up. But what a cup final.
Been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. A game literally of two halves. You've got Queanbeyan dominating the first half. Canberra Croatia should have won it in the second half.
And we're talking about a moment in the contest, the penalty shouts. Now, I've had a couple of people coming through saying it was a coming together. Some said it's a penalty. It's a big talking point, and it's going to be a big talking point as well. refereeing was well placed. Gareth Biggs, he was right there as well. He's seen what he's seen. He's not given it.
Yeah.
On another day, does it get given? Earlier in a game, does it get given?
Possibly. The bottom line is it wasn't. And you would rather a referee not give a penalty where he's not sure than give one when it's wrong and have that decide the game. So today we get the two teams going into extra time, and it's up to them now to try and find a winner. It isn't going to come down to, or it hasn't come down thus far, to a referee's decision. It has come down to some fantastic defending, some resolution from particularly Queanbeyan City in that second half in terms of their defending. And unfortunately for them, they've lose Daniel Roberts for extra time. He looks like he's done. And that's a big hole in their midfield. But, they can be justifiably proud of a great performance that they put in. Canberra Croatia in the second half started it on fire and finished it like they were going to win it right at the death. Unfortunately for them, didn't take place.
But what could we expect in extra time?
Much the same, I hope. I mean, there will be mistakes now. As people get tired, there will be mistakes. If you're capable of dealing with them, you're a chance. If you can take advantage of them, perhaps the game's yours.
Well, can they do it, Queanbeyan City? Can they do it? They might have won it. They might have lost it.
Do you know who came on for Roberts?
The change at half-time, the change in extra time?
Yeah.
I can say you now. It's Charlie Ray.
Charlie Ray for Daniel Roberts.
In the middle. Had a good game, Daniel Roberts, didn't he?
Oh, very good. Very, very good. I mean, who in a red shirt hasn't?
I want to take this moment to thank our Cup sponsors, All States Towing, Canberra PC Repair, Deakin Club, Electro Tinj, Kitro Excavations, LG Hooker, Rhythm Snowsports and Xela Construction for their support this season. Been great to have them on board all year. Ayul with the throw.
One-handed.
Sparrow helps it on. Ayul away. Keir lifts it in to the danger zone. Galich knocks it away. Miyabiashi under pressure from Yardrich. Bit of an old scrabble on the ground. Kolbatado and Savkovic battling away. Free kick goes the way of Croatia.
It could have been a free kick in any one of half a dozen incidents then. He's gone down with cramp. He has had a great shift.
Marko Savkovic.
Yeah.
Heartbeat of this Queanbeyan City outfit. Big ask for young Charlie Ray, isn't it, for the next half an hour? Thankfully, Steve, that wind appears to have dropped for extra time. It's not quite as noticeable as it was in the 90 minutes.
It's still there, but not quite as strong, you're right.
As I say that, it picks up again, of course. Spaseski over the free kick for Croatia to lift it into the danger area. It'll find it's all the way through for a goal kick. Nick Middleton, who made that crucial save in the 95th minute. How important might that be?
an incredible series of events.
It would have been cruel on Queanbeyan City, would it not?
Well, of course. I mean, at that late stage of the game, you're expecting that you can get through to extra time, but you wouldn't have been able to argue that Canberra Croatia hadn't deserved it, because in that last 10 or 15 minutes of normal time, they were certainly the better team.
Who's got the legs in extra time? Or are we going to go to penalties?
And then what happens? Goodness gracious me, what a night.
Savkovic forward, Colbertaldo. It's a late challenge on Matt Gerbischer.
Actually, they might have been better letting them play on. Well, we haven't had a goal and we haven't had a red card, and both are possibilities in this particular event.
That was Charlie Ray introducing himself to Matt Gerbischer. Sam Brown. Spaseski. Ray.
No. Yeah. The tired legs of a 38-year-old wasn't quite up to that one, but not a bad idea from Ray. Nico Abbott done really well. Done really well to last this long. Probably the first time all season he's played 90 minutes.
Do you know what? I'm thinking that maybe now they're thinking we've got to keep him on in case he goes to penalties.
Well, yeah, probably.
Because Naul Guerrero, who's one of their penalty takers, is off the park.
Yep. Daniel Roberts as well, maybe?
Roberts might well have taken one. Mirbiashi forward.
Maybe we won't need penalties. Oh.
Gay Boyle. Where's he got the energy from?
He has not stopped from the first minute. You'll sleep well tonight.
Going to line up another throw here. Tokic has gone forward. Galic is in there too. Colbertaldo rather hoiks it as far as Abbott's. Gerbischer got a touch. Now Ryan Keir. That's a measured pass. And Sousa's ball over the top is for Sparrow. And Savkovic stands strong again.
He's looking for the pickle juice, though. He's got cramp. Savkovic, what a game he's had. He's been an absolute tyrer.
Ayul as well. Sparrow into the middle. It's going to find its way through to Riley Sousa, perhaps. Off goes Leverett.
Oh, what a 1-2.
1-2, that is, with Blazewski. Yeah. Got him back in again as well. Blazewski. And Abbott's peeled away here. A more accurate ball. He might have been in.
Yeah, it would have had to have been a good one. Again, yeah, only Abbott in the box.
Spaseski. Went through the challenge. No free kick given. I think there was a bit of ball. There's Christian Tokic in trouble in backfield as well.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a bit of cramp.
Gabe Ayul's down on his haunches in front of us too. 8 minutes in, he's cooked as well. So Nick Middleton's sending it off the park because they're effectively down to 9. Gabe Ayul and Christian Tokic.
They've given everything, haven't they, for the 90-odd minutes that we've played. And they're just feeling the pinch now. It was becoming more and more obvious as the second half went on that they were just fatiguing. And really, the effort that they put in, it's perfectly understandable that they're now feeling the pinch.
Sam Abbo has been ready for quite some time, hasn't he?
Yeah, we thought he was coming on about half an hour ago, didn't we?
He's going to come on very shortly, I think. Changes afoot in extra time.
They've already lost one central defender. They don't want to be losing Tokic with another 20-odd minutes to play.
How are you going, mate? Do you need some pickle juice?
I could do with some pickle juice, yeah.
Haven't got any, but if anyone's got any pickle juice out there, then...
Hot pickle juice.
Look, right about now, you'd take anything that's hot, wouldn't you? Because it is a bit tough. Are you getting heckled, Steve?
Yeah.
By who?
A couple of rubbish punters and heckling me.
What have you done to deserve the heckle?
Well, I tipped them a horse, and unfortunately,
It came in second.
got his legs caught underneath the ambulance.
Here's some changes. Seth Bonnet and Sam Abbott. Now, who's coming off is the question. Christian Tokic is one of them, I think.
And
I think it's going to possibly be Gabe Ayol, is it? Or maybe it's not.
I don't know.
It's Thomas Blazewski. So Abba for Blazewski.
Is Gabriel going to be allowed back on?
Bonnet for Tokic. Ayol will be able to come back on.
He's trying to sneak back into his left back position.
Ten minutes of the first half of extra time have gone.
Yeah, Tokic off. And now it's a makeshift back four. Safkovic, struggling with cramp, has dropped into the central defensive partnership with Galich. Here they go. Jadrich.
Marko Jadrich to send it across. Max Green! Canberra Croatia breakthrough! Finally, Queanbeyan City resistance broken. It's taken 10 minutes of stoppage time, 100 minutes of football, but Max Green finds the goal. Created by Jadrich, finished by Green, and Croatia lead.
And you can't say that they don't deserve to be in front, but this has come at a time when Queanbeyan City's resistance has been broken down by the loss of key players as much as anything else. Full credit to Canberra Croatia. It's a goal that well put together and well finished. Jadrich gets away, squares the ball perfectly for Max Green, and Max Green unerringly sticks it in the corner of the net.
A fifth cup goal of the season for Max Green. And Queanbeyan City's brave resistance is undone. Have they got something in them to pick themselves up?
It'll take a superhuman effort now.
The pace from Sousa.
Great tackle.
And Marko Jadrich off the bench to create it.
That's
and twisting
brilliant.
and turning.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The subs have made a difference for Canberra Croatia, no doubt about it. Sparrow and Jadrich in particular have done really well. Culminated, of course, in that lovely pass to set up Max Green's goal.
In off the post as well, Steve, just to add to a bit of drama.
Yeah. Well, he had the chance, didn't he, in the last few minutes of normal time and couldn't take it, but he's done the right thing now.
12 goals for the season in League and Cup, plus one in the Charity Shield. Jadrich has sent it through. Sousa's away, but the flag goes up. Miyabiashi was having a tumble. Daniel Sparrow was offering
very little
sympathy. 13 goals in all competitions, including a Charity Shield goal for Max Green now.
He's on fire. I was saying not long ago that I thought he had a part to play. And he certainly has.
Puts his team within touching distance. There's still a quarter of an hour plus a bit to go.
Hard for them now, though. They're dead on their feet. They've lost key players, midfield and in the back line. They're It's a mountain to climb. I know it's only 1-0, but it's a mountain to climb when you're so tired.
They haven't scored a huge amount of goals this season, neither have they, Queanbeyan City.
No.
They're not free scoring. And you know what? They're going to have to come and look. And we've said all along that one of the best transitional teams in the competition is this team in white out here tonight.
Yeah. If there's going to be another goal, I fancy it would come from the team in white. The bravery and courage that Queanbeyan have shown is an example to everybody. They've been fabulous tonight.
Green wins the header. Van der Poel. They might not be done yet, though.
Never know.
Colbertaldo, Yadrich, Souza. The rain's just picking up briefly. Very light in the air. Ryan Keir. Sparrow. Space out wide for Yadrich again. Charged down cross as he was looking for Green.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was trying to get across or he was having a shot.
Seth Bonnet's ball forwards caused an issue here. And Sam Abbott couldn't quite get in behind Matt Gerbischer. Van der Poel.
Yeah, gets the throw. But it's, from Queanbeyan's point of view, it's the lads with fresh legs that have got to really stand up now. The subs that have come on. They've got to try and find something.
2 minutes left. Stoppage time in this first half of extra time. The old stager, Miško Namoski, is going to get at least a quarter of an hour of the cup final.
Be nice if you could get a goal, wouldn't it?
Well, if you're of Queanbeyan City persuasion, it would be priceless. Here's Max Green. He still looks full of the joys of spring. It's amazing what a goal does. Nico Abbott, he'll keep running and running till he's got nothing left. As will everyone in a red shirt. Bonnet gets stuck into Daniel Colbertaldo.
I think that's a bit unlucky. I think he played mostly ball then.
They might well hang on here for the 15 minutes, Steve. They might well extend their lead, Canberra Croatia, but goodness me, they've been made to work for this.
Have they ever? I mean, if they gave medals out for bravery in football matches, then Queanbeyan would be getting the gold one today. But the bottom line is, Canberra Croatia are capable of finding that extra something special, and they've done it in the period of extra time so far.
Marko Savkovic, his cup final is over.
He can hardly pick his legs up. He's run himself into McKellar Park's ground here.
Miško Namoski comes on.
I mean, they've got nobody in the back four left now. Every central defender's had to come off, even the replacement central defender in Savkovic, who worked so hard for 90-odd minutes.
Goran Jozovovski is going to get one more chat with his team briefly to try and lift them.
Yeah, try and find something for them. Try and inspire them onto a bigger effort.
Just throw everything at it.
Yeah.
For a quarter of an hour.
Got nothing to lose now.
Miško Namoski over this free kick. A team that was in the CPL, remind everybody, this time last year. It's knocked it towards Abba. Brown's missed it. It's hooked off the line. They're asking for a penalty. He's given it.
He's given it.
Brown's found Abba, and Queanbeyan City have a penalty. In stoppage time of extra time, the first half.
Queanbeyan are still arguing that the penalty hasn't been given. They don't know it's been given yet, and this is it. This is an opportunity to get right back into it.
Brown came to get it.
Didn't get there, did he?
Didn't get anywhere near it. It was flicked on by Bonnet, I think. Missed it and cleaned him out. And if Canberra Croatia feel they should have had a penalty, well, Queanbeyan City have got one.
Well,
at the same end.
And it could be Miško Namoski that takes it.
Well, Nico Abbott would be the favourite, you'd imagine. I've seen the Argentinian miss from the spots this year. And he is going to have a chance. 4 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half of extra time.
Queanbeyan are busy protecting the penalty spot so that Canberra Croatia can't scratch it out. But it is Abbott, by the looks of it, that's going to step up.
I was walking on the pitch earlier today and had a look at that penalty spot. It is the biggest penalty spot you've seen.
Is it really? Painted
on there. It is massive. I was thinking, well, imagine if you get a penalty, you're just hanging over the front of it, you're about a metre closer to goal. Nico Abbott has taken many spot kicks in his career. He scored many goals in his career, perhaps none as important as this one. Queanbeyan City, the cup underdogs, with a glorious chance to draw themselves on terms. It's Nico Abbott, their Argentinian goal machine, against Sam Brown. And he equalises for City. They are still in the cup final. And Nico Abbott draws them level. You cannot write them off. And this amazing match continues to deliver.
Coolest bloke on the park was Nico Abbott. Stuck that away as if it was shelling peas. Brilliant contest. The bravery of Queanbeyan, they deserve that, don't they? Let's take nothing away from Canberra, Croatia, but Queanbeyan are thoroughly earned to be still in this contest, and still in it they are.
The one man that they would have wanted to take the penalty. 5 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the first half of extra time.
And there was only 2 minutes.
It might be the last kick of it. We're still going. But City are back on terms. And you mentioned earlier, Steve, might this be their night? Might this just be the moment?
Yeah, I mean, people will point to certain decisions that have gone against Canberra Croatia and say that the luck has favoured Queanbeyan City. But luck favours the brave, and they have been absolutely courageous tonight. Even in the face of adversity, they've lost players going down with cramp, players going off with concussion. They've come up against the best team in Canberra, and halfway through extra time in the cup final, well and truly in it.
They fell behind to Max Green's goal. And when that went in, we thought it was probably done. And yet they came back. And from the penalty spot, Nico Abbott has drawn them level. And there's 15 minutes to decide this one. 15 minutes to find out who will be in the round of 32.
And we're still no closer to finding out who that is.
And we will be switching round pretty quickly, Steve. It's quite incredible in the cup final. The penalty spot was being kicked up a bit by Canberra Croatia players. They kept their cool, Queanbeyan City. And Nico Abbott found the net. 20 shots in the game, 11 for Queanbeyan, 9 for Croatia, 5 on target for Croatia, 4 for Queanbeyan. The corner count just ahead for Canberra Croatia, as you can see. The yellow card count, well, I think that's a little out. It's not counted yellow cards for the assistants. It should be 5-3 in terms of the yellow cards. We are ready to go at the start of the second half of extra time. Who has it in them? Which one of these teams can lift themselves for the final quarter of an hour? Canberra, Croatia. So hotly tipped you could barely back them. Queanbeyan City, the ultimate underdogs. 15 minutes to decide who will take home the silverware and who will represent Canberra in the round of 32. Jack Barach Cullen, wherever you're watching this around Australia, I hope you're enjoying the contest as much as we are. Comes off Barach Cullen. Second bounce for him. Souza stabs it towards Jadric. Flag goes up for offside against Marko Jadric. We're at that stage of any football match, Steve Forshaw, even a cup tie, never mind a cup final where the legs are tired, the lactic acid is building up, and you're just trying to get through it, but trying to find that winning moment.
Mentally fatigued as well. That plays such an important part. Clever players can deal with it.
Abba's challenge on Parach Cullen wasn't pretty.
No.
He won his side a penalty, Sam Abbott. He's trying to offer the hand of apology.
Yeah, not interested. My. What a night.
What a fillip that is for Queanbeyan City right on the cusp of the half-time break of extra time to get themselves back on terms.
Well, at that end of the park, at the end of the 90 minutes, Canberra Croatia should have won the cup. At that end of the park, at the end of the first period of extra time, Queanbeyan City have saved it.
Jadric to slide it out for Souza. Like you said, it's as much mental as anything right now.
Yep.
Ryan Keir, Cole Bataldo. Cole Bataldo still. Mishko Namoski runs into Ryan Keir. Max Green ricochets kindly through for Nick Middleton.
Not that we're at penalties yet. We've still got that best part of 15 minutes to go. But Queanbeyan have already experienced success in a penalty shootout.
We have got two of the best penalty stoppers in the competition out there.
Yeah.
If we go that far.
But in Queanbeyan's case, Nico Abbott has probably got to take another one. And you always see, not always, but quite often see, that a second one becomes a little bit more nervous.
Tucked that one away rather nicely.
Beautifully. Absolutely. Coolest man on the park. Without doubt.
Bit of gamesmanship when trying to kick up the spot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Never used to do that in our day, did they, mate? Just got on with it. What's the world coming to, hey? Leverage.
Football's gone woke.
Bonnet. On his away here, Seth Bonnet. And he's got three up in support. It's Bonnet. It's Namoski. Mishko Namoski. Straight at Brown. What a chance for the substitutes.
Comes to his left foot, different finish. It just rolled across him too far.
A let-off for Canberra Croatia. A massive let-off. Jadric. Souza. Jadric. Clips one in. Look at the space here. Well, it wasn't far away from Max Green again. Daniel Colbertaldo is screaming at him. He wanted it laid off.
Can't blame a striker for having to go from there, though.
Well, Max Green already scored once.
Yeah.
But what a chance for Namoski. As you mentioned, if that's on his left foot,
Queanbeyan
City might be winning the cup.
Yep.
There'll be a lot of players out there that play with and against Mishko Namoski, and we'll back that statement up.
Oh, his left foot is strong. Sweet.
But what a run for Bonnet on that far side.
Fabulous.
Croatia went early with a ball that wasn't where it should have been.
Max Green's just feeling the pinch as well now.
Here he is, stretching it out, so they're throwing the football. Colbertaldo. Sparrow looking to turn. Namoski.
Ambitious.
Gudbisha, pass one. Thumps into the second one. Miyabiashi. Free kick had already been given, I think, the other way. Otherwise, he might have been fortunate,
He might have been. I think he might have got the ball anyway, but it was...
Got him on the follow-through.
Yeah. It was certainly one of those that you'd have been having a look at.
I mean, not a lot the referee can do, is it? Because he's already played the free kick.
I think you could probably still give a card for if it's particularly violent, but I think he got the ball first and that would have saved. But I think the...
We watched it again. There's a solid challenge. Let's just say that if Takuya Miyabayashi did not know who Matt Gudbisha was before then, he does now.
He does. He's got Matt Gudbisha's stud marks across his shins at the moment.
A cup final souvenir for the Japanese imports. and not of the good kinds.
No, not at all.
On a more serious note, Queanbeyan City will be hoping that he's okay because they haven't got any subs left.
He's certainly limping, and he's got to go off.
It's even worse because there was no card or anything. It's a bit harsh. He's had treatment, but that's the
that's the rule.
The rules, yeah, the laws of the game. Down to 10 momentarily. I'm sure it won't be long. Oh, there you go, less than a second. Spaseski's ball forwards. Green will chase. Rather hopeful ball forward from Bonnet.
You can forgive Queanbeyan now for thinking, let's just go to penalties. Let's see, take our chances with penalties.
Go to Bishop. Sparrow.
Drum roll to see the game out.
Swept that ball nicely to Yardridge. Abba's come across to win it. 7 minutes into the second half of extra time.
What a game, Russ. What a game. Just speaking to people in the halftime break, and everybody I've spoken to has said, what a really enjoyable game it's been.
Miyabayashi away.
Great advert for local football, this.
Parach Cullen with the throw.
We've said it hasn't been a cup final spectacular, but it has been such a good watch.
You won a contest on cup final day, and we've got that and more, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Brilliant from Van der Poel. And
Brown's
Bonnet. Brown's gone out to meet him. That's a good decision in the end.
It is. Got there.
Sam Brown made the decision. Now he's off his line here. Bonnet surely not going to try one. Ayul. Abba. Namoski. Samuel Abba.
Yeah, one pass too many.
And a free kick on the edge of the box. Stuck a leg out, Abba. Now Canberra Croatia can break with Marko Jadric. Here's Riley Souza. They got Ivica Majetic about to join in the action. Marko Jadric. Sliding challenge was Charlie Ray's. And Canberra Croatia go to the bench for one final time at the moment. Well, they've got David Cecilia left as well. Riley Souza's day is done. Now, Ivica Majetic was not in the cup final squad this morning, Steve.
He is
but
now.
An injury to Nicholas Subasic means that he's in the cup final squad and he's on the pitch. What's the chances of him coming up with something special to win it?
Is this his debut? First grade debut?
Do you know, I didn't have enough time to look at the notes. He was that late of a thing. I think he might have come off the bench once before. But what a moment for him.
What a moment it could be.
The last time I saw Ivica Majetic, he was trudging down the tunnel at Deakin Stadium, having been sent off in the under-23s against Tuggeranong United.
Well, this season's turned around. Here he is in a cup final.
Green goes
brilliant.
through the gap. The layoff wasn't quite there.
No, but they're not going to bust themselves going forward now, Queanbeyan. They're dead on the feet. But what a performance this has been. This could be the turning point in their season where they push on and cement a top 4 spot.
Subasic over the top. Nick Middleton.
Played his part in the game, hasn't he?
He certainly has. Mrs. Middleton will be very proud.
She will indeed.
Of the performance of her boy.
Justifiably so.
And he still might have a further part to play. He might have the main part to play.
He might do. He might even take one, yeah.
We're edging towards that. 5 to play. Ayul has it back again. Parach Cullen steps in. It's a heavy one for Marko Jadric, but he'll scamper after it. Majetic. Jadric. Go to Bishop. Ryan Keir. Daniel Colbertaldo.
It's good football from
Here's
Cam.
Max Green. Flicked up in the air. Sparrow will challenge. It's out of play. It will be a corner kick.
Yeah, Ayul again, I think, got the interception. But lovely football from Canberra Croatia.
You ever think about your player of the match at some stage, Stephen? I'll need you to point that one out to me. It's such a hard pick, isn't it? There's been performances all over the park. Colbertaldo to swing it into the area. It's going to come out here towards Spaseski. Now the break might be on. A real opportunity for Queanbeyan City. Van der Poel. Here's Bonnet. Ball was just a bit behind him and he had to check his run. Still going, the young substitute, though. Seth Bonnet. And looking to deliver. Gerbischer's got there ahead of Abbott.
Yeah, wasted opportunity. 3 against 1 then. The ball was just under hit. Otherwise, he's away.
Miyabayashi. Leverett. Abbott. Leverett. Miyabayashi. Sweeps it out to that far side. Bonnet, he's been so good since he's come on. And he's had a go.
And it wasn't a bad effort either. Good football from Queen. This game's had everything. Absolutely everything. All we need now is somebody to find a winner.
Inside the final 3 minutes of a cup final that will live long in their memory. Many turned up here today expecting the team in white to roll the team in red. The odds of 29-1 that Queanbeyan City were paying suggested that. Here's Yardrich. But in the 117th minute of the cup side, the 118th minute, they're still in it. Lever it forwards. Colbertaldo.
Every touch, every tackle, every pass, every last ounce of energy is being squeezed out of this.
Parach Cullen. Free kick goes Canberra Croatia's way. Matt Gerbischer goes short for Subasic.
Because they can use an extra sub, can't they, in extra time?
Yeah, I think they pretty much everyone's used everybody except for Cecilia, the defensive fullback. Middleton away. And unless he's going to take a penalty, I don't think he's going to join us, is he?
I wouldn't, unless there's an injury or something, yeah. I think I'm trying to get the ball to Marko Yadric as much as I can. He's full of running yet.
Matty Gerbischer to bring it from the back. Here is Yadric. Taking on Leverett, who stands up. Ryan Keir. Heavy first touch from him. Much better second one. Almost slid it through for Colbertaldo. It might break for Colbertaldo. It might break for Daniel Sparrow. It does break for Jack Parach Cullen, who fires it across and is turned in by Max Green. And Canberra Croatia may well have won it with the last minute goal from nothing. Heartbreak for Queanbeyan City, but Canberra Croatia have nicked it at the death.
And with a goal worthy of winning the cup final. Well put together. Lovely attacking move down the left-hand side. And who's on the end of the cross? Max Green. Max Green. He's got cramp. He can hardly pick his feet up, but he's in the right space at the right time to tuck it away for what must surely be the winner.
Jack Parach Cullen can take a bow for playing his part. Max Green's pulled a groin or something to score in the celebrations. He can barely move.
I think he's got cramp in the quad.
But Canberra Croatia have to hang on for 3 minutes. They have scored at the death. It's the cruelest of cruel blows to Queanbeyan City. It's the easiest goal that Max Green will ever score. And yet, perhaps the most important.
Johnny on the spot. Johnny on the... Where good strikers go. Get into that far post as the quiet side winger, and you'll get tap-ins, and he's deserved it. He's worked his socks off.
He's going to come off here, and David Cecilia is going to get a bit of cup final football, Steve.
Yeah, that's good. that's good. I mean, sad to see Max Green come off, but he's been the match winner today. But Cecilia, who's been such a good servant over the last few years for Canberra Croatia, gets his 15 minutes, or, well, 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Well, less than that, 2 now. It's why they brought him to this football club, Steve, for moments like that. And it may well have been the work of Jack Parach-Cullen to fire it across.
Well, there was a number of people involved.
Ryan Keir's ball out wide.
Keir, yeah.
Marko Jadric in the 120th minute to not thread a ball into the penalty area, but to take his time and pick the right pass.
Yeah, well,
and do you know what? It's all come off the back of a horrible first touch from Ryan Keir, which created the second touch.
Yep. But he...
What have Queanbeyan City got? Have they got something? Can they drag themselves off the canvas? They have given their all.
And a bit more too. They'll look back at the Misko Namoski.
I need you to pick a player of the match, Steve, as well. You're looking at it. But the Namoski chance at 2-1, maybe that was the moment. There's been players from both sides that have been incredible. Players from both teams that have put their effort in. You could pick a player of the match from any one of these.
There's been 20 players of the match, 22 players of the match. It's been an incredible cup final. One of those cup finals when, in a few years' time, you're going to be saying, gee, I'm glad I was there.
Canberra Croatia have got themselves a corner.
I don't know that there'll be too much ambition attached to this.
When they needed him most, though, Max Green stood up twice. And he's got himself 2 goals that might well have broken the hearts of Queanbeyan City.
People starting to file out now, accepting that this game's probably over, but they've had a treat. Those that have been here for the full 120 plus have had a treat. Canberra football treat.
And Queanbeyan City have played their part in it to the full and then some. They have given themselves and their club massive backing. And whilst Canberra Croatia look like they're going to see this one through, it's been a tough old gig. Here's Marko Jadric to pick his way through. Well, he had Sparrow square. Could have found Daniel Sparrow. Might have sealed it once and for all.
Yeah, got to have a shot from there, though. Got to have a shot. Got to hit the target, though.
At this stage of the contest, it matters little. Kopatado goes sliding in. Gaboyul, Mishka Namoski. Won by Daniel Sparrow. He's made a difference since he's come on.
He has indeed. I mean, I think all the subs from Canberra Croatia. And there it is.
Canberra Croatia do it again. They always find a way. And they have been made to work it today. They've been made to work more than they've been made to work all season.
That is, you won't speak a truer word, Russ, because from go to woe, Queanbeyan City have played a full part in this game. In the first half, they surprised everybody by taking the initiative, and they were slightly the better team. Second half, they've had to weather the Canberra Croatia storm, but they've weathered it with some dexterity. And you can't begrudge them the fact that they were here. If people were thinking this was going to be a rollover, what a shock they've got, because this Queanbeyan City team have really stood up and represented their community and their club to the fullest extent. You cannot praise them enough. But all credit tonight goes to Canberra Croatia, who threatened right from the word go at the start of this season that they would win silverware, and tonight they've come through in the most difficult of circumstances, but that's the sign of a really, really good side. Canberra Croatia, congratulations.
They will play in the round of 32 as the representatives of the ACT and Capital Football for the 3rd time. Queanbeyan City pushed them all the way. Max Green scored twice. It took him 100 minutes to make the breakthrough. Nico Abbott's penalty pulled Queanbeyan City back, but Max Green, with virtually the last kick of the game, has won it for Canberra Croatia. Queanbeyan City, well, they suffered a body blow, but they will be back for more, no doubt. They can be hugely proud of what they've achieved, not just in this run, but tonight in total. It's finished here at McKellar Park, the Hahn Australia Cup qualifying final. Canberra Croatia progress. It's Queanbeyan City 1, Canberra Croatia 2.
Canberra Croatia. Number 62, Ryan Kidd. 18 words, and the 1 minute to it. Before we get the wheels, let's say the player of the match is number 10 from Queanbeyan City.